of this series. We have seen what he can be like when he gets his mojo going. He had a couple of rough spots during the Colorado series. I would suggest that the Winnipeg Jets are going to have to try to find a way to make sure that he doesn't start to feel unbeatable.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was one of the things about Game 1, too, and when we talk about the temperature not really being up, and that was one of the things that I didn't think Winnipeg, they did not get to those dirty areas enough. They did not get on top of the blue paint enough. They have to take his eyes away, and they have to make life difficult for him, and that's throughout their lineup. That's not just one line that has to do it, Kelly. They've got to go, and they've got to do it early. They've got to send a message that they're coming, and it's going to be direct.
Ken, we talked to Scott Arniel about this the other day, and and as I mentioned earlier in the pregame show, I have no issue or do I even question when a coach tries to just downplay whatever might be perceived as a negative. But the Winnipeg Jets, over the course of the regular season, were among the very best with the lead after two periods. They've not had that benefit for basically any of their playoff games. They have spent far too much time having to play from behind, and I don't care how good a team you are, eventually that takes its toll. So just for those who might be tuning in now that did not hear these stats earlier, on a per game average, the Jets have had the lead for about 10 minutes as opposed to playing in deficit 28 to 29 minutes. And Game 1 was a prime example of that when they had the lead for about 5 minutes and had to play from behind for about 23.
Yeah, and I mean, part of that is special teams. We've talked about it for a long time. 5 for 26, not good enough with the man advantage. We know they've been down some important bodies, but in a series that is so razor thin, Kelly, losing the special teams battle 1-0 is the difference in the game. So penalty kill's got to be better. Power play's got to be sharper, though I would say the power play was better in terms of its movement, but they didn't cash. And Kelly, I've said the stat before, and it is baffling to me. Someone as dangerous as Kyle Connor has not scored on the power play since December 23rd of 2024. And he still had 9 power play goals for the Winnipeg Jets. Other teams have done a good job of taking away a lot of his looks. But like Ovechkin, you may know it's coming. You still have to find a way to either bury one or find one for your line mates. And I'm not putting this all on Kyle Connor by any stretch, but he's one of the most dangerous guys on that power play. And that's an awfully long time. That's 53 games by my count since he's found the back of the net with a man advantage. Yeah, and Gabe Vilardi, it's the same thing. Had a tremendous start, led the team with 12 power play goals, but in the second half only scored twice with the extra man. So it's one thing, coach, to be rotating that puck and getting looks, but at some point, and Scott Arniel said this today, at some point you've got to produce, and tonight is the night that power play, if given the opportunity, simply has to get a puck or two behind Jake Ottinger. Yeah, it's one of those things where there's going to have to be probably a little more will, and Ken, you're exactly right. The power play looked better, but there were also times where, again, the default mechanism, if there's a fault to this power play, the default mechanism is to overthink it and to kind of hold and get a little bit paralyzed. And I think, again, what you make, and Kyle Connor not scoring for 53 games on the power play, you make a good point there, because teams are clearly taking away that flank shot. He doesn't have clean looks, and again, what the Jets do to adjust and hopefully maybe get him maybe a couple of different looks, or in a different area of the ice, maybe a little more motion, that would be helpful tonight. All right, Ken, we try to be a little bit more intense and bring a little more passion the next time, or we're going to have to sit you down. Yeah, I'm going to do my best. And again, for Kyle Connor, incredible pass on the redirect for Cole Perfetti's
absolutely
goal in Game 7. So he's doing a good job, but they got to find cleaner looks. And to Rems's point, too much dusting off by Mark Scheifele on the power play the other night. A little bit more aggressive in that attack mentality we heard all year. Get back to the attack mentality. And then a lot of those folks were in the KFC buckets. They'll be happy tonight, Kelly. Okay, real quick, what's coming up in the Saturday? What do you call that feature in the Winnipeg Free Press? It's on hold. We got the dump and chase is on hold for the playoffs. So
what?
Just the the Saturday website will be pounded full with day after game analysis for myself, and Mike McIntyre has the gamer, and my piece was the early notebook with Morrissey returning, and those great words from Pete DeBoer about Adam Lowry being a candidate for the Four Nations face-off team, and he calling him one of the top 3 defensive centermen in the entire NHL. Thought those were great words from Pete DeBoer today.
Right on. Well, it takes a great question to get those great words. Ken Weeb of the Winnipeg Free Press, kind enough to join us. The coach is going to have his keys to the game. We'll do our final check of the scoreboard update next year, and then we will turn the keys over to our drivers, Edmonds and Clinton, here on the Mid-Canada Fasters and Tools pregame show at 680 CJOB.
Hey Jets fans, get ready for the Winnipeg Whiteout with Jets gear and TrueNorthShop.com. Choose from a huge variety of official Winnipeg Jets Whiteout apparel, headwear, novelties, and more. Need a new white hat, t-shirt, pants, or a jersey? We've got you covered.
Moving in, shooting, score!
Shop online at TrueNorthShop.com or by visiting one of our Jets Gear store locations.
Fighting crime and crime one drain at a time. There's a reason they call us Mr. as in Mr. Rooter. Every spring, our fair city is under attack by clogged drains and backed up sewers. When melting snow and heavy rains threaten to cause sewage and wastewater to back up into your home, only Mr. Rooter stands between your basement and total plumbing chaos. Call them today to clean your sewers and drains.
Born to be a hero, trained to be a plumber. That's Mr. Rooter.
There's nothing quite like the playoffs. And there's no better way to enjoy the games in.
Hey, hockey fans, thank you for hanging out with us tonight for the Jets and the Stars. We really appreciate you being here. Please do all the normal YouTube stuff. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Let's get more hockey fans here in the chat cheering on our Jets or our Maple Leafs or whoever it is that you're cheering on here in the chat during our Playoff Pulse campaign for SickKids Hospital right in Toronto. What a difference we have made so far, and we are only getting bigger and only getting better. We'll see you back in the chat. If you can't donate, it's all good. We get it. Times are tough. Share that link out and let's make a difference, community. Thanks for being here. Go Leafs go. Good luck to your team. We'll see you back in the chat.
To us, 1557 King Edward Street.
Brought to you by Play Now, the official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. Caution. There may be times when these guys actually know what they're talking about. The official Winnipeg Jets pregame show continues on 680 CJOB.
Your power play, their PK seems to, I guess, leave space for you to get it down low, but then they've got a third guy in the middle. Is that a unique thing that they're doing to kind of get to that next play?
No, it's not unique. I think that first they're aggressive. They're really quick and they're coming, and they're, this is a little bit some hybrid with Carolina. This is Florida. There's a little bit of mix. Everybody, they're playing how they play the pop guy a little bit different. They play with their defense compared to some teams that play with their forwards. So that's kind of that video that we looked at from the other night, and then certainly when we played them at the end of the year, there's some stuff there that we're looking to expose. So, they're going to try to do the exact same thing to us, obviously, make changes. But yeah, they're good. They're good at it, and we have to be fast. When we're fast with that puck movement, that's when we have success.
Boy, we just talked about that, didn't we, Coach John Rempel, as we welcome you back to the Mid-Canada Fasters and Tools pregame show. That goes without saying, though. If you're against an aggressive penalty kill, you have to move that puck, and one-touch passing is certainly one of your keys to success. The pregame show for Mid-Canada Fasters and Tools, your place to shop with a professional tradespeople shop. Mid-Canada Fasters and Tools at 1557 King Edward Street. All right, Coach, what do you have for the keys to the outcome of Game 2 of this series?
Well, it's probably going to sound like a broken record because this pregame show we've been on since 6 o'clock. So I think all of these things have been talked about, but I will honestly say I wrote these things down at 12 o'clock today. So
all right.
Anyway, just to clear this up, but Winnipeg special teams have to be better. Ken just said it. A combined total of 50% in Game 1 is not going to get it done tonight. No question about that. Secondly, the Jets have to involve all four lines. Again, they all have to have an active role. They've got to go early and get them all involved. And I think thirdly, again, I just said it, far more aggressive and direct to Ottinger's doorstep and in the blue paint and make life very difficult for him.
One of the things that has been talked about is the start, and this team, when they are playing the way that they can, and I think the quote was, we're like clockwork, and it happens early. You see a connected breakout. You see crisp passes, tape to tape, and not where a player has to all of a sudden reach behind, and now all of his speed in the neutral zone has been completely negated. And to me, John, one of the other things too, because we talked about these starts specifically on home ice, I'm looking for the Jets to show us that right from the very first breakout.
Absolutely. And I mean, I would never call Paul Edmonds a fool, by the way, because he claimed that I might, but I would never call him that. Maybe other things, but not that. But he is correct in that, I expect what you're going to see tonight, particularly from this group of 6 defensemen, they can all get up the ice. And I think it's imperative that the Jets run 4-point attack. They move stuff to the weak side on the 4-point attack, have that late guy, if it is the defenseman, coming through the far dot and be able to attack Dallas off the rush. All right,
the keys to the game for St. Andrews Parts and Power, where a handshake means something. For more, head to standrewspartsandpower.ca. What a barn burner going on in South Florida. 4-3. The Panthers out in front of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're approaching the midway point of the period. A game in where the Leafs had leads of 2-0 and 3-1. But boy, has this year's playoffs ever taught us that no lead is safe. Professional Women's Hockey League. It's funny, the Toronto Maple Leafs with a chance to take a stranglehold lead on the defending Stanley Cup champs. The Toronto Scepters with a chance to take a stranglehold lead on the defending champs in the Pro Women's Hockey League, the Minnesota Frost. But it's the Frost who are up 4-3 with about 5 minutes remaining in that game in Toronto. So a great battle is going on there. At the World Championship Hockey Tournament, which started today in Vienna, Austria, the United States wrapping up a 4-game opening day schedule with a 5-0 blanking of Denmark. The Seattle Kraken to some of Matty Beniers with a couple of goals, and Joey Decord with 26 saves for the shutout starred there for the U.S. Jacob Markstrom of the New Jersey Devils had to handle just 15 shots to backstop Sweden to a 5-0 win over Slovakia. Czechia edged Switzerland 5-4 in overtime. One-time Calgary Flame Roman Travanka with the game-winning goal there. UC Saros had to make 27 saves to protect a 2-1 lead for Finland over the host team from Austria. Captain Sidney Crosby, along with his alternates Ryan O'Reilly and Nathan McKinnon, will lead Canada into the tournament bright and early our time tomorrow morning at about 5:20 to play Slovenia. Northern Manitoba Blizzard, who lost 5-4 in overtime to Trenton on Thursday, will resume their Centennial Cup quest tomorrow night against the Greater Sudbury Cubs. Boy, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who lost a couple of games on home court to the Indiana Pacers, are leading the Pacers 80-62 in the third quarter tonight, looking to get back into that series. Oklahoma City at Denver a little bit later on, Toronto at Seattle, and a great pitchers battle going on in the American Association. No score in the bottom of the fifth inning between the Winnipeg Goldeyes and Cleburne Railroaders. They needed 10 innings to settle the issue last night. That is the pregame show for Mid-Canada Fasters and Tools. Noah Fuchs standing by with Before Puck Drop news. The coach will join me for the intermissions. Paul and Mitchell will bring you Game 2 next. Enjoy on 680 CJOB.
You have been listening to the official Winnipeg Jets pregame show. Getting ready for Puck Drop with Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton. Coming right up on 680 CJOB.
I'm Bailey Shikanik, Prairie Claims Manager for Ag Direct Hail Insurance. Our team of professional and polite hail adjusters have one goal: to thoroughly inspect your crop damage and get you a payment that accurately represents your loss. It's that simple, and why shouldn't it be? Having settled thousands of claims to the satisfaction of our customers, I am proud to lead the Ag Direct Hail Claims team. Visit agdirecthail.com or call us toll-free. We appreciate your business.
If you got pain in your... Do you go to just anybody? Or do you want to take your... to the best?
Yeah, you go with the top guy, like Dr. Jay Buenafé. He is one of the top-rated doctors on RateMD.
Approximately 1 in 10 men suffer from a condition called Peyronie's disease. It can cause pain and discomfort. Learn how Dr. Jay Buenafé can help. Book your confidential visit at buenafeclinic.com.
In today's business world, hiring and retaining staff is a challenge. But Chambers Plan Employee Benefits gives you an edge. A solid benefits plan can be the deciding factor for job seekers. 30,000 Canadian businesses agree. Chambers Plan gives you the flexibility to offer comprehensive benefits with affordable, stable premiums. See how Chambers Plan can benefit your business at buychambers.ca. That's BUY chambers.ca.
News and information is more important now than ever. CJOB is working for you, getting the answers your family needs and bringing you into the conversation. 680 CJOB, Winnipeg's news, today's talk.
Global news at Puck Drop. I'm Noah Fuchs. One man has died and search efforts continue for another on Lake Manitoba following a boating trip that went wrong. According to the RCMP, a 41-year-old and a 22-year-old from Sandy Bay went fishing, but became stranded when their boat malfunctioned yesterday. The local fire department could not begin a rescue effort due to high winds, and a bystander saw them swimming to shore without life vests. This morning at 9, the 22-year-old's body was recovered. Constable Larry Neufeld says it's become more of a body recovery operation for the 41-year-old.
At this point in time, with the water temperatures as they are and the wind last night, there's pretty much a zero chance of survival.
Ian Gilson from the Canadian Safe Boating Council advises that before heading out on the water, you should make sure you're in an area that matches your skill level.
Because certain locations can really run into problems where you really need somebody who's a seasoned boater to be able to handle it well.
Gilson says that you should be wearing a life jacket when on the water. He notes that roughly 85% of all boating-related fatalities involve someone who is not wearing a life jacket. And Universal Music Group is doubling down on its commitment to Drake. That's even as it files a motion seeking to dismiss his amended defamation suit over their role in the success of Kendrick Lamar's chart-topping diss track, Not Like Us. A Universal representative framed the ongoing legal conflict between the two label mates as one pushed by Drake's lawyers, and not necessarily the rapper himself. The amended suit adds to its complaints Lamar's presence at the Super Bowl halftime show and the 2025 Grammys, where his song swept all 5 of its nominated categories. And now it's time for Winnipeg Jets hockey, right here on 680 CJOB.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Winnipeg Jets Hockey Club is expressly prohibited. Live from Canada Life Centre, this is Winnipeg Jets Hockey on 680 CJOB. Now here's the voice of your Winnipeg Jets, Paul Edmonds.
By their own admission, the Winnipeg Jets didn't feel they put their best skate forward in a series opening loss to the Dallas Stars on Wednesday night. In a game that was certainly less emotional than their series clincher against St. Louis, the Jets did have their moments 2 nights ago, and with that, chances to take over the game. But in the end, it was the Stars who were just a little bit better in every facet, and in the process, wrestled away home ice advantage from the Jets with a crucial first strike in this Western Conference semifinal. So now with Game 2 looming large over the city of Winnipeg tonight, you don't need to tell the Jets what's at stake if they don't rebound favorably, especially as this series shifts to Dallas after this evening. And Mitchell Clinton, it's certainly not a must-win situation for the Jets tonight, but in order for them to feel better about the series and their game overall, it would be important for the Jets to muster a victory this evening.
That's right, Paul, and I think priority 1 for the Winnipeg Jets tonight would be getting off to a strong start. It was a bit of a storyline against the Blues, and in Game 1, Dallas had the first 9 shots of the hockey game. Winnipeg will be out to correct that. There will be a bit of a boost with Josh Morrissey stepping in, but the Jets have to make sure they play fast and structured to ensure that boost results in on-ice success. But of course, one player can't sway a playoff game on his own, despite Mikko Rantannen's efforts in Game 1 to prove that statement wrong. It will take a top-to-bottom effort from the Jets tonight if they want to even up the series.
It's the Jets and the Dallas Stars, Game 2, and it's coming up next You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Manitoba, it's time to come together.
Go Jets, go! Go Jets, go!
And there is no better place to gear up for game days than 680 CJOB. Your place for pregame, play-by-play, postgame, and of course, the parties.
Yeah!
680 CJOB, proud home of your Winnipeg Jets.
Go Jets, go!
Lowry moving in, shoot,
Jets fans, it's your chance to win big all night long with our playoff 50-50 raffle. Get your tickets now for a shot at multiple cash prizes during the game, ranging from $1,000 to $25,000. Plus, one lucky winner will take home 50% of the total sales at the end of the series. Don't miss out. Text JETS to 20450 for your chance to win. That's JETS to 20450.
Hey, this is Cole Perfetti, and you're listening to Winnipeg Jets Hockey with Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton on 680 CJOB.
We welcome you back to downtown Canada Life Center. Game number 2 is about 15 or 20 minutes away from getting underway tonight. And then down to Dallas for games 3 and 4. And that will certainly go on Sunday and on Tuesday. A 3:30 start on Sunday, a 7 p.m. start in Game 4 on Tuesday, all times Central. Well, Mitchell, let's get to it. Boy, Mikko Rantanen has found his groove with the Dallas Stars. The last 20 games or so, he was very good for the Dallas Stars. He was excellent in that series with the Colorado Avalanche, and he was good in game number 1. Now, he didn't take over the game, despite the fact that he scored a natural hat trick. Taking over the game, for me, means that you're making plays, you're getting back, getting the puck on your stick, you're advancing the puck, you're dangerous. He put himself in some great spots. A high tip, in front of the net, sweeping a puck while he was falling down, control of the puck over on the far side, put it off a skate and in. I mean, he had a presence. I thought he was very good, certainly when he was double shifted and used on the fourth line as well. But Adam Lowry had an interesting quote yesterday to talk about that. He said, there were mistakes that led to bigger mistakes that we made that really helped and enabled Mikko Rantanen to have the game that he did.
Yeah, exactly. And Adam Lowry, even calling out himself on the first goal, saying he needs to make a better read or a better play on Sam Steele through the neutral zone to make that entry more difficult so that Neil Pionk doesn't have to step up. And now you got two players on your own side playing for the same assignment, and that's when things kind of opened up. Sam Steele made a play across ice, and all of a sudden away goes Dallas. They're able to create Rantanen's first goal. So it's always little details like that. And that's why I say, it's not like it's just in the offensive zone where Winnipeg needs to take away, his stick in front of the net or, make sure he doesn't get there, all those types of things. It's usually you got to go back about 3 or 4 plays or 10 to 15 seconds to really find maybe where that small breakdown happened that led to the complication that you saw. And, you look back at the amount of times that Winnipeg played Mikko Rantanen over the course of this season, it was 7. 1 goal, 1 assist, and that came during his time with the Colorado Avalanche where he played 4 games this year. So Winnipeg's done a good job on Mikko Rantanen this year. Was he the same player, in Carolina as he was early in the year in Colorado and now with Dallas? You could say probably not. It just never quite was a fit there at that point, but it is what it is, and both teams moved on and made trades, and now Rantanen's looking great in Dallas. That's just kind of the way things go. But for Winnipeg, of course, they're very familiar with his game. He was a big part of why Colorado was able to eliminate Winnipeg last year in the playoffs. But this year, I felt over the course of the regular season, they took care of what they needed to take care of against Mikko Rantanen, so that they know how to do it. But of course, elite players will always find that little bit of time and space.
So to give you some more numbers on Mikko Rantanen leading his team, 15 points in 8 games. He has 8 goals in 8 postseason games. He's on a 4-game point scoring streak, 8 goals, 14 points over that time. He has scored goals in 4 straight games for Dallas, 8 overall. And certainly, as we mentioned, he has been a factor in 12 straight goals for the Dallas Stars with a goal or an assist. And that is an NHL new record, surpassing Mario Lemieux, who I believe had 9 consecutive goals that he helped the Pittsburgh Penguins score in a number of years ago. So it's not just Mikko Rantanen, it's a number of others, but the Winnipeg Jets talking a lot about themselves. And Adam Lowry had another excellent quote. He said, I think it's more important that we get back to playing how we expect to play of ourselves. And the other part of that is Mark Scheifele saying, despite the fact, I'm paraphrasing here, that we didn't like our game, we were right there, certainly on Wednesday night. Speaks volumes to if Winnipeg finds another 10% or 5 to 10%, and we heard that before, you wonder how this might unfold tonight for the Jets.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of why I lean towards the start in this one. Winnipeg would want to obviously have a much better start in game number 2, and I know situations kind of dictate things. When it's 3-1, Dallas maybe not necessarily pushing up ice, but at 5-on-5, Winnipeg really controlled play in the third period against the Stars, and numbers from Natural Stat Trick, shot attempts 21-9 at 5-on-5. The high danger chances 4-1 for Winnipeg. So, like I said, context is important. Dallas was up 3-1. But even if you look at the second period where Winnipeg kind of started to feel like they were turning things over and starting to get better, it's basically a dead split between the two teams in terms of what they were able to generate against each other. Both teams very good at taking away the middle of the ice. Absolutely. That's why they're in the position that they are, known as two of the best defensive teams in the National Hockey League. But Winnipeg, I felt, was still generating. I think of a couple of the opportunities that Nikolai Ehlers had in the game, and if not for Esa Lindell making a big save right on the goal line, Nikolai Ehlers would be on the board here in the postseason. And so I think the fact that Nikolai Ehlers, Gabriel Vilardi are another game into the postseason, I think they're going to be up to speed, feel like they're up to speed, and they want to make sure that they're part of the contribution to help Winnipeg even this series here in Game 2.
What does Game 71 and March 23rd in a loss to Buffalo here at home mean to you?
Last time Winnipeg was fully healthy, and it was also when they last had obviously their full crop of centers outside of, or forward, sorry, instead of Game 1, right? So, and I remember we were sitting in this very booth when Gabriel Vilardi was taken down by Alex Tuck right at the buzzer, and who knew at the time what that was going to start injury-wise for the Winnipeg Jets. Obviously a very physical series against the St. Louis Blues, and Josh Morrissey was on the receiving end of a lot of that. That's kind of how teams really would game plan against such an elite defenseman like Josh Morrissey is. And, for Winnipeg, for him to be able to come back, spoiler alert, he's in the starting lineup tonight. So look forward to the crowd reaction to him being back in the lineup. But I can't imagine, for the coaching staff, how good of a feeling it must be to be able to walk down that tunnel knowing you've got everybody on there that you would want. Now, Luke Schenn not being in the lineup, we imagine he's probably a little bit banged up, and that's why they're going with Fleury Miller as their 5-6 pair. But at the same time, I think if you're the coaching staff, you're very confident in the lineup that you've got going out there tonight as the one that you envisioned late in the year.
Okay, a couple more questions. What does a good start mean to you from the Winnipeg Jets tonight? I asked Scott Arniel that in Coach's Corner. He gave a great answer. But for you, what does it look like? What is the value of a good start for the Jets if they have one this evening? And what are the optics for everybody in the building and certainly for us to see it?
Yeah, I feel like for Winnipeg, it starts in their own end. If they're efficient in breaking the puck out, it just seems to build as you go up the ice. So efficient in breaking the puck out no matter what forecheck you're seeing from the Dallas Stars. You're getting through that neutral zone, which is always a challenge. You're not trying to make your fancy plays. You're just trying to find speed. If that means you got to dump pucks, you have to dump pucks. If the play's there, make the play and go. And then it's about piling on those shifts in the offensive zone. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be up 5-0. That would be great, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be up 5-0. But if you're rolling lines that way, everybody gets a touch, everybody gets that offensive zone shift, and you start the process of wearing down Dallas's D, because you look at the ice times in that first game. Esa Lindell, 27:52. Thomas Harley, 25:07. Cody Ceci, 24:33. And it drops off precipitously after that. Without Miro Heiskanen in the lineup, they ride those 3D really hard. So if you're able to make them defend, and their forwards, let's not forget about that, make their forwards defend as well early on, it's a great down payment towards the ultimate prize at the end of the night there.
Rudimentary, I know, but less time in your zone, more time in theirs. And as you mentioned, stack the shifts up, start churning like Winnipeg has done so many times this year that we've seen as part of their DNA, as they like to say. The urgency factor, the desperation factor comes to mind as well. Dylan DeMello, there's urgency to get the win because you don't want to go down 2-0, but at the end of the day, you don't win the series after tomorrow's game. He was speaking to us yesterday, of course. But Winnipeg understands that. You want them to come out with desperation and some urgency, but they need to sustain that. And it doesn't mean going 110 miles an hour, running around all over the place. You want the urgency and the desperation to be tempered and organized and professional tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's when you kind of rely on the maturity of your group, right? You don't necessarily have a bunch of players that haven't played in the postseason before. And that's something that Winnipeg can really rely on. They know the difference between that urgency and playing out of your mind and out of control, right? And so I think that's when Winnipeg will really lean on that maturity that's been built throughout the year. They've had big games throughout the regular season. They've had big games in the postseason. And did they necessarily love their start in Game 7? No, but when they really got going against St. Louis, they played within themselves, they played with urgency, and they had St. Louis back on their heels.
Jets also talked about being better with the puck, in particular between the two blue lines. Far too many turnovers on Wednesday night in game number 1. Far too many opportunities where the neutral zone turnover led and fed into the rush the other way for the Dallas Stars. Scott Arniel, we need to have that confidence that we're going to go out and make plays and make Dallas defend us. Again, we're coming back to some of the foundational aspects of the Winnipeg Jets that we've seen through 82 regular season games this year, and in a lot of circumstances, at least on home ice, during that series against the St. Louis Blues, and now looking to do the exact same thing against the Dallas Stars. So game number 2 tonight, and as mentioned, this series will shift to Dallas after this evening as well. Let's go downstairs to Stacey Natras, of course, for the 2 anthems here tonight, the Star Spangled Banner, and then followed by O Canada. Stacey?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard
Our referees for tonight's game 2 are Eric Furlan and Kelly Sutherland. On the lines, Bevan Mills and Devin Berg. Devin Berg, by the way, I believe now has a Manitoba driver's license. He has been here for so long. He did game 7 between Winnipeg and St. Louis and then stayed here, and this is the second game that he works in this series as well. I digress, and we're having some fun. Starting lineups are brought to you by Windeck. Let's have a look at those. Do it once, do it right. Visit windeck.ca to do that. A guy that does have a Manitoba driver's license. It's the only driver's license he's ever had. Here's the pride of Dauphin, Mitchell Clinton.
Put that in the game notes. Jake Ottinger gets the start in goal for the Dallas Stars. Stop 30 of 32 in game number 1. Essa Lindell and Cody Ceci on the blue line. Jamie Benn, Matt Duchesne, and Tyler Seguin up front. For the Winnipeg Jets, it's Connor Hellebuck, 21 of 24 saves in game number 1. Josh Morrissey, welcome back alongside Dylan DeMello and Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, and Gabriel Vilardi up front.
Teams will come to center ice to get it started. Game number 2, round 2. Puck is dropped, and it's showtime from downtown Winnipeg. I'm Debbie Long on the radio home of the Winnipeg Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB. How do you folks tuning in on satellite radio and on the NHL app across North America and worldwide? 7 seconds in, we'll get an icing call against the Dallas Stars. First period opening face-off is brought to you by Cambrian Credit Union. Looking for a mortgage? Get peace of mind and flexibility with the new Best of Both Worlds mortgage. Visit Cambrian.mb.ca. Face off to the left. Goaltender Ottinger. Out towards center ice. Seguin couldn't take a pass cleanly. Winnipeg will dart back inside the zone. Morrissey took a high stick. There's going to be a penalty against Ceci. Right off the hop here. 17 seconds in. They'll look for blood on Morrissey. And Winnipeg is going to go on the power play. Their power play was 0 for 4 on Wednesday night.
Dallas number 91, the double minor for high sticking.
4-minute minor to Tyler Seguin, not Cody Ceci.
Yeah, Cody Ceci was in the area. He was the one that Josh Morrissey was skating towards, and Tyler Seguin kind of just came from the side, and that stick gets up right into the teeth area of Morrissey, who put the towel to his face a couple of times, chucked that towel back on the bench, and he's out there for the power play.
So an opportunity for Winnipeg to have a quick strike. Face off to the left of Ottinger. Winnipeg goes on to the power play early on in this one. For Prairie Battery, your one-stop battery source is Winnipeg-born and Canadian-owned. PrairieBattery.ca. Tumbling around, Winnipeg trying to hold the line, could not. Morrissey on the far side. Got it over to the far side boards by Steele. Puck is snatched by Scheifele and sent back inside his own zone. Winnipeg will corral it there and look to advance the puck up the ice. Passed off to the near side for Connor. Dances through that neutral ice to the far side from Vilardi. Back for Connor. Connor looking back door. Nobody was there. Maybe Ehlers was supposed to be there. He was late. Rattled around to the far side. Pulled off the wall. Back to where the line. Morrissey. Wrister through traffic. That went wide. CC banged off the puck. Grabbed there by Scheifele. Back to where the line for Morrissey. Stops it with a skate. Shoots. Deflected in front. Stop. Vilardi far side for Connor. Connor now down low again for Ehlers. Ehlers starts out in front. Trying to go high. Off the shoulder on the far side. 10 against the post was Ottinger. Snatched to the near side here by Oscar Beck. Pounded off the boards and sent all the way down the ice.
Gabriel Vilardi checking out that right arm, hand, wrist kind of area after he took that Josh Morrissey slap shot off the body.
Sauntering through that neutral ice, Pionk to the near side now. Nemesnikov swoops after a puck on a dump in. It's rimmed around to the far side. Niederreiter waiting for it there. He'll kick it back out on the far side. Iafallo now for Perfetti back to where the line to the near side. Nemesnikov up top of the line. Pionk far side again for Perfetti. He at the high circle on the far side, tried to pass it off, broken up and sent all the way down by Harley. And back in behind his own net to stop that is Hellebuck. 2:25 remaining in the double minor to Tyler Seguin. No score in the hockey game. Here comes Winnipeg swiftly through that neutral ice and across that line. Just about lost the puck. It's held by Pionk to the near side. Nemesnikov moving right in. Pass back door on the far side. Niederreiter tried to get it for Perfetti. Was up in the air. Again, hauled down at the point. Pionk far side for Cole Perfetti. Perfetti dancing in, shoots. Stopped by Ottinger. And he'll hang on for a whistle. 17:41 remaining in the opening period. No score. Winnipeg Jets hockey brought to you in part by Winnipeg Clinic, Wallace & Wallace, and the Dairy Farmers of Manitoba.
Nikolai Ehlers comes very close to his first goal of this postseason. He's had a couple of good looks already in this series, and this one's similar to Game 1, just a little bit of that opening down low for Winnipeg Jets forwards to drive to the front of the net. That's what Ehlers does, and kind of puts it off the side of Jake Ottinger. It doesn't quite find that short side.
Whisking the puck away is Wyatt Johnston, who neutral ice and down inside that Winnipeg end shoots as he pulled it back on his off wing and got it into the middle of the ice and fired that wide. Came off the back wall and again grabbed there by Lindell and out to center ice. He'll shoot it back inside that Winnipeg end. So 0 for 1 are the Jets with a man advantage. They're on their second power play for Prairie Battery already on that double minor to Sagan. Winnipeg to the near side and across the line. Ehlers stops up into the corner, bangs it into the corner. Now for Scheifele back toward the line. Morrissey swings it far side. Vilardi casts it into the corner for Connor down low for Ehlers. Came out in front, lost the puck. Pop back toward the line. It's held again by Morrissey. Far side again for Connor. Connor at the hash. Connor looking, surveying. Near side, Vilardi shooting. And it's off a skate. Grabbed again by Scheifele. Twisted back toward the line. Morrissey, far side Connor. Quickly into the corner, the far side for Ehlers. Ehlers darting around into the corner. Back toward the line for Connor. Up top now for Morrissey. Into the corner on the near side for Scheifele. Back toward the line. Morrissey moving in, shooting. And it's off the blocker of Ottinger. Grabbed again by Scheifele. Saucer pass for Morrissey. Bumped into the slot for Ehlers. Ehlers moving in, shoot. Stop, rebound, they score! Gabe Vilardi after Ehlers hit the post, banged it in. It's a power play goal. And Winnipeg, 3 minutes and 35 seconds in to the first period, have a 1-0 lead.
Just the start that this power play needed after going 0 for 4 in the first game. Dallas gets through the first minor, but Winnipeg, when this top unit comes out for a second time, they're finally able to find that middle ice a little bit. What happened was they moved the puck around so quickly that the aggressive Stars penalty kill opened up a little bit. And finally, Winnipeg was able to get it in there to Nikolai Ehlers, who fakes passing off to Kyle Connor, kind of forces Cody Ceci to adjust to it. And while Ehlers doesn't get everything on the initial shot, goes off the post, and Vilardi's right there.
Vilardi is first of the playoffs. At 3:35, here comes Winnipeg again, marching back inside that Dallas end. Swaying into the corner as Lowry put it back in behind the net. Broken up there by Rantanen. Outlet at far side off the stick of Rope Hinson. It barrels down inside that Winnipeg end. Back again swiftly is Neil Pionk. Onto the far side for Appleton for Lowry. Takes a hard hit from Bichel as he crossed over the line. Lee and Bichel came away with a puck. 6'7" from the Swiss. And he will send it down inside that Winnipeg end. Round the boards it goes inside that Winnipeg end. They can't get it out. Wyatt Johnston moved it up along the boards, and it falls up as it goes into the meshing and back onto the ice surface. We'll get a stoppage of play. So Vilardi from Ehlers and Morrissey, 3:35. Vilardi's first of the postseason on the power play. Time of the goal for JS Furniture. Visit us online at furnitureandmore.ca.
Adam Lowry kind of checking his eye as he went to the bench. He's still kind of rubbing it a little bit after that hit from Bichel. I'm not sure if something came up and during the impact on the hit that kind of sent Vilardi or Lowry awkwardly kind of into that curved glass, the Pacioretty glass as we like to call it. Still on the bench though is Lowry.
15:39 remaining in the first period. We do it to the right of Connor Hellebuyck. Winnipeg 5 shots on goal. They haven't surrendered one yet. Now they might get one though. Here's Duchesne for Sagan into the slot. Good active stick by Winnipeg to knock that away. Roll back in behind the net. DeMello will pick that up. There's going to be a penalty call coming up. Sagan got dumped with a trip back in behind the goal line, and Josh Morrissey will be escorted off to the penalty box.
Eventful start to the game for Josh Morrissey.
Winnipeg penalty number 44. 2 minutes for tripping.
4:35 the time of the penalty. So Dallas will go on the power play. Josh Morrissey for tripping. And Dallas the other night, 1 for 2 with the man advantage. They've scored a power play goal in 4 straight coming into this game.
Yeah, Morrissey doesn't like it. He's engaged with Sagan in a one-on-one battle along the wall, and as they kind of go to break out of it, Sagan trips over his stick.
So they go in the draw, rimmed around the boards. by a follow, stop by Rantanen. Rantanen carves his way into where the corner, left it for Johnston, now for Rantanen again, back toward the line to the near side for Harley, steps off the boards, casts it to the far side for Duchesne. Duchesne up top again for Harley, near side Rantanen shoots, that's blocked nicely by Sandberg. He gathered up the rebound, twisted off the boards, a foot racing, Lowry's got a breakaway, short-handed. Lowry from the blue line in, Lowry shoots, and it's kicked away by Ottinger. Lowry looking for his second short-handed goal in his career in the postseason. There's only two Jets that have done that, Lowry and Brian Little. Back toward the line, established again here by Dallas. Up top, Harley. Onto the far side, Duchesne. Into where the middle, off a stick, bouncing around. Wyatt Johnston will settle it down. Back toward the line, it goes for Harley. Wrister through traffic, stopped by Hellebuck. Rebound swept back toward the line. Held by Harley to the near side. Winnipeg will try to pressure that. Harley gathered up again. Far side, Duchesne. Back into where the slot, knocked away by Tanev, but toward the line, held again by Harley. Now again Duchesne, down low for Johnston. Johnston for Duchesne on the far side hash. Swooping around down low again. Now Duchesne back out in front, got a shot away off a shin pad. That bounced into where the corner. Rantanen will hold the puck. Here's the booze. Back to the line for Harley. Harley back for Rantanen. Cross-ice pass. Finds Duchesne moving in. Duchesne shoots, and he might have hit the post. And it bounced off the post, off the boards in the corner, and flushed back out towards center ice. Winnipeg races to the bench for a line change. Here comes Dallas again across the line. Back toward the line here. Rantanen for Harley. Walks the line on the far side. Back out in front. Off a skate of Pionk. Twisted back into where the corner. Pionk steals it again. Moved it out towards center ice. Good stick there by Morgan Barron. Sent back inside that Winnipeg end. 9 seconds to go. Long lead pass from Morgan Barron. Dances inside the zone. Tried to bust into where the corner, got knocked off the puck. And now Morrissey will step out of the penalty box. 0 for 1 with the man advantage of the Dallas Stars. Ben swings inside the zone. Tried to center the puck out in front. Finds the stick there of Seguin. He cast it back toward the net. That was wide. Bounced into where the corner. Seguin goes after it. Winnipeg will paddle it back in behind the net. Miller's there to try to skewer it around. Got a little bit of help, and now flying out of his own zone is Morrissey to the near side at center ice. He'll dump it in. It rolls around to the far side. Scheifele on that puck. He put it back toward the line. Here's Fleury. Cast it into where the corner again. Ehlers back door. Up a skate. He scores! Nikolai Ehlers will get a goal. He tried to pass it to Mark Scheifele back door. It went off a skate, I believe, of Esa Lindell, and Winnipeg leads it 2-0.
We'll talk about the two players you'd love to see get on the score sheet for the Winnipeg Jets. Gabriel Vilardi gets the first one, and Nikolai Ehlers, who's had so many great chances, finally just honestly gets a bounce. He's on the ice because Kyle Connor was part of the PK, so he hops out there on the left wing with Mark Scheifele and Gabriel Vilardi, and like you said, Paul, Ehlers is just trying to find Scheifele in front on the back door, and that pass goes off of a skate right in front of Ottinger. I believe it's off of Esa Lindell, and tucks just inside the post. A great start for Winnipeg.
And Nikolai Ehlers will get a goal. And for Nikolai, it's his first of the postseason, the 5th over his career. And it comes at 7:07, and Winnipeg has started this exactly how they likely wanted to. 2 goals in 7 minutes and 7 seconds. Here they come again looking for more. Ehlers moving in. Ehlers into where the corner. Ehlers behind the net on the far side for Perfetti. Perfetti trying to escape some traffic. Backhanded it back in behind the net. Ehlers trying to scrape it off the boards. Too many Dallas Stars were there. Labushkin after the puck. And he's helped out by Steele. And Steele will maneuver that puck out towards center ice. Dodonov carried it across the Jets line without possession. He'll be offside. We'll get a stoppage of play. We'll take a timeout. We'll do the same on your radio. 12:13 remaining in this opening period. Excellent beginning for the Winnipeg Jets. They lead at 2-0 over Dallas. You're listening to Play Now. Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
For fun and reliability you can count on, your one-stop battery source is Canadian-owned Prairie Battery.
Prairie Battery is family-owned and operated, providing reliable and trusted battery power. When you want true power, come see Prairie Battery and the Prairie Battery team, or visit us at prairiebattery.ca.
When you need batteries for industrial, commercial, auto, recreational, marine, RVs, and more, it can only be prairiebattery.ca. When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become
Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Grab your jersey. Grab your generic lager. Impressively standard beer for impressively intense moments. Brewed in Winnipeg by Little Brown Jug. Generic, the most domestic choice.
The job gets done at St. Andrew's Parts and Power. The savings on Coyote subcompact tractors are big, big, big. Brad has stock of Coyote CS Series 2220 and CS 2520 tractors. Plus, get 2.99% for 72 months, a free loader, and $1,000 off. Get your Coyote subcompact tractor at St. Andrew's Parts and Power, where you'll say, that guy helped me.
And I can help you too at St. Andrew's Parts and Power.
This is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
Winnipeg Jets hockey is also brought to you in part by South Beach Casino, Boston Pizza, and Chamber Insurance. Nikolai Ehlers, his first from Fleury and Shifley. Made it 2-0. That comes at 7:07 of this first period. Time of the goal for JS Furniture. Visit us online at furnitureandmore.ca. Came off the opening goal by Vilardi, his first. Ehlers with 2 points tonight, a goal and an assist. Morrissey gets right into it as well. A couple of key notables mentioned by Mitchell Clinton that he wanted to keep an eye on, and both have scored to start this game. We do it to the left of Ottinger, 12:13 remaining in the first. And Bishop with a puck into where the corner is. Dallas wins it. Flipped it out toward the line. Stopped there by Lowry. Lowry down low. Appleton tried to pass it out in front. Band on that. Into where the corner. Niederreiter will go after it. Pushed against the boards. Appleton in there for support. Lowry charges in there as well. Granlund pulled it off the wall. Played it to the far side for Lee Bishop. He'll knock it inside that Winnipeg end with one hand. Sandberg got tripped up going toward the puck. After it goes Appleton. He'll push Rankin in along the back wall. Who did the tripping? No call. After it now is Pionk. He'll roll it around, reverse to the near side. Swooping after it now again is Sandberg onto the far side on the tape for Niederreiter. Tried to pass it inside the zone, broken up. Back the other way. Rantanen swoops inside that Winnipeg end. Puts on the brakes. He'll put it back into the slot for Harley coming in late. Shoots! And he just put it wide. Bounced off the back wall. Collected here and held by Lyubushkin. His shot blocked there by Shifley. He protects the puck. And now he starts to rumble out of his own zone. Mark Shifley at center ice. To the near side for Kyle Connor. Connor across the line. He'll shoot it back in behind the net. Kind of deadened off a stanchion. Came back to the line. Held by Morrissey. Far side again for DeMello. Up top for Morrissey. Morrissey swings to the near side. He'll send it with purpose wide. Bounced into where the corner. Vilardi takes a hard smash against the boards by Lyubushkin. In to help out our Connor along with Shifley. Connor digs it off the wall. Flipped it back around behind the net for Connor. He grabbed it again for Shifley for Connor. Twisted away. Connor back toward the line again for DeMello. To the near side for Morrissey. Morrissey will just shoot it into where the corner. Lead it in there nicely. After Vilardi, try to get it out in front. Spills back toward the line. Held by DeMello near side. Shifley shooting. And it's stopped going post to post by Ottinger, and he'll hang on for a whistle. So a couple things to comment on. Both the two guys that have scored the goal, but Winnipeg is not fooling around. The puck is zipping around inside that Dallas end.
Yeah, absolutely. A great hardworking shift by those forwards down low in Kyle Connor, Mark Shifley, and Gabriel Vilardi. Even taking advantage or jumping on the fact that a rim play that they tried to do, like you said, went off of a stanchion and didn't quite get where it needed to go. They won that ensuing puck battle, and it created that Mark Shifley one-timer chance off a nice seam pass by Dylan DeMello.
Nemestikov wins it cleanly back to where the line. Sandberg up top. Pionk winds up. Slapped it wide with purpose. Came off the side of the net. Ehlers couldn't collect it. And it's bounced back toward the line. Held again by Sandberg into where the slot on the far side. Ehlers went toward the net. Kicked away with the right pad of Ottinger. Scooped up to the near side. Duchesne into where the middle now for Lindell, who jumped up. He'll send it down inside that Winnipeg end. Jamie Benn out in front for Duchesne. Knocked off his stick. And it dribbles back out towards center ice. And then swinging in front of Nikolai Ehlers, who wants a line change, is Lindell to calm that puck down and play it out towards center ice. Bouncing around. Duchesne carries it across the line. Dropped it for Ben onto the far side. Now into where the corner. Rantanen pushed against the board by Neil Pionk. Duchesne in there to help out. Squeezed against the boards by Sandberg. Came back to the line. Dusted off. Petrovic shoots. And that just goes a little bit wide and carries into where the corner. Far side again. Alex Petrovic will go after it. into where the corner, pushed against the board by Iafallo. Far side now for Rantanen. Rantanen and Pionk both go down. There to pick up the puck and charging out towards center ice is Barron to the near side for Tanev, crossed over the line. He dropped it now for Barron. Barron shoots it into where the corner for Tanev, taken off the puck by Bischel. Bischel put it back in behind his own net for Petrovic, and he will settle it down as Winnipeg will make some changes. 9:05 remaining in the opening period. 2-0 for the Winnipeg Jets on goals by Vilardi and Ehlers, both their first of the postseason. On your radio home of the Winnipeg Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB. To the near side, Lowry will bang it back inside that Dallas end. It rolls around to the far side. Trapped there by Appleton now for Niederreiter into where the corner. He takes a bump. Appleton trying to free it up. Oscar Beck came away with the puck. He will dance out towards center ice and softly flip it from the red line down inside that Winnipeg end. Dadonov goes after it. He tried to get it out in front. It came back with the line from Lyubushkin. Shoot! And it's off a stick and wide. Steele, the first one on it. He will kick it from his skate to a stick back toward the line. A shot by Harley. That went off a couple of sticks and wide to the near side again. Niederreiter protecting the puck. Scoots back in behind his own net. Reverses far side for DeMello. And he'll just send it all the way down. Icing will be the call against the Jets.
Well, and you see that the Dallas Stars, obviously, they're not going to go away, right? I thought Winnipeg did a really good job net front here. Whenever Dallas tried to work it up top, Winnipeg tried to get bodies to box out in front of the net, and the last chance got deflected, but deflected wide. So Winnipeg's going to want to keep that up. And how about the one-on-one battle between Neil Pionk and Mikko Rantanen below the goal line? Rantanen won the first one, and then Neil Pionk dumped him into the boards when the next puck came, allowing Winnipeg to get that thing out.
Face off to the left of Hellebuck. Shots on goal, 9-2 for Winnipeg. Dallas wins the draw. Far side, Harley. Stopped by Hellebuck as he wristed it toward the net. The put back there by Robertson. Stopped by Hellebuck, and he smothers it. Just to the edge of the blue ice and the right side post. And Winnipeg asking no quarter and giving none. Swatting sticks of the Dallas Stars. Net front. And really holding the fort. 8:05 remaining in this opening period. The score, Winnipeg 2, Dallas nothing. You're listening to Play Now. Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey from downtown Winnipeg and Canada Life Center on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Kettle sample are delectable. Filet mignon?
Oh, no, thank you. Actually, I'd love to, but my dentures have another idea.
Don't miss out on life's appetizing offerings because of ill-fitting dentures. Get set right with Shine Dental. Their expert team helps secure loose dentures while improving your oral health, making eating more pleasurable and ensuring you smile confidently. Available at Shine Dental's 1104 Pembina Highway location.
Would you like to try?
Yes, I would.
Book today and find your shine at shinedental.ca.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch the movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
When your truck breaks down, do you take it to just any shop or do you take it to the best shop in town? So when it comes to your why wouldn't you go to the top-rated guy? Go see Dr. J, one of the top-rated doctors on RateMD. So if your needs help rising to the occasion, bring him to one of the best.
Dr. J of Winnipeg Clinic offers new and innovative treatment options for erectile dysfunction. Book your confidential visit at winnipegclinic.com.
The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey.
Jet fans, are you ready for the Winnipeg Whiteout? You can be even more so with Jets gear at TrueNorthShop.com. Choose from a huge variety of apparel, headwear, novelties, and more. Need a new jersey for the Whiteout? We've got you covered there too, TrueNorthShop.com. 2-0 Winnipeg. We do it to the right of Hellebuck. Scramble into where the corner. Miller shoots it around to the near side for Fleury. He skedaddles out towards center ice. Cross ice pass to the tape for Scheifele. Chip and chase down inside that Dallas end. Slithering in there is Lyubushkin to move the puck up along the boards, and Dallas is out towards center ice. Flying through that neutral ice is wide. Johnson across the line. Shoot! Stopped by Hellebuck from a long way out. Then some pushing and shoving. Miller on the far side. Almost did a Superman leap into Jason Robertson over there. linesmen move in to break those two up. 7:45 remaining in this opening period. 2-0 Winnipeg.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything going on between Miller and Robertson until it got right in front of Hellebuck. Miller kind of slammed on the brakes and put his arm out, and Robertson put his arm out as he slowed down. You thought nothing was going to go on, and then Robertson with a little shove to Miller, and, well, the Jets defenseman's not really going to take that.
Lowry will take the draw against Granlund. Granlund will shoot it to the near side wall. Captured by Granlund again, back to the line. Weak shot toward the net, deflected in front, just missed short side. And Winnipeg will spin the puck back out towards center ice. Lindell, far side, shot back inside the zone. Rope hand stuffed it in, took a funny bounce back out in front. Hunter Hellebuck was back in behind his net to try to play. Stays inside the Winnipeg end. Hellebuck back in his goal. Puck is centered into the slot. There to pick it up. Swiftly played out towards center ice. Deals beyond to the near side for Niederreiter. He was poked off the puck as he came across the line by CC. The linesman blows it down right away. Fans thought, and so did Niederreiter, that he stayed onside. We'll get an offside call against the Jets.
And I'm not sure. Your vision's kind of cut off by where the boards are, but I'm not sure if Niederreiter got this puck entirely across the line before he was kind of obstructed and his skates didn't quite clear, or his skates cleared too early. I think that's probably what the call is, because I thought Niederreiter made a great play in the neutral zone to be able to take a pass that was kind of coming behind him, and he put his stick around on his backhand side to be able to haul it in.
Chopped inside the Winnipeg end. Dallas won that neutralized face-off. Number of players scurry toward it. Nemesnikov, Seguin back toward the line. Harley dusts it off, shoots, blocked away by Hellebuck. Rebound far side is Ben, put it back in behind the net, winning that battle. Seguin trying to get it out in front. Stopped with a stick, gathered up by Ehlers. And we're going to get a stoppage of play. DeMello was dumped to the side of the net. There's going to be a penalty coming up.
Yeah, I think it's a high stick on Winnipeg.
Winnipeg number 2, minor penalty, high sticking.
High stick to Dylan DeMello.
I believe it's on the player that took the high stick earlier in the game, in Tyler Seguin. Just the two of them locked in a battle, heading to the net front, and DeMello doing what we talked about with Mikko Rantanen, take that stick away. He does that. Thought the stick just made contact with the visor, and Seguin grabbed the face, but kind of hard to tell. Sometimes there's some shrapnel that flies around there.
DeMello for high sticking, 13-12, puts Dallas on the power play for the second time tonight. Should mention that Winnipeg's penalty kill has been pretty good. They did give up a goal the other night. And we'll give you the numbers in a second. As Winnipeg won the draw and exhausted it back out towards center ice, came back in and grabbed again by Iafallo, and he will discard it all the way down the ice. 6.5 remaining in the opening period. 2-0 Winnipeg. Jets have a power play goal tonight and an even strength tally. Wyatt Johnston inside the Winnipeg end. Lost the puck. Grabbed again by Brandon Tanev and swatted back out towards center ice. Dallas curls back inside their own zone, and Harley. Jets have killed off 12 of the last 13 times that they've been short in the playoffs, and Dallas will skate offside. So Dallas looks befuddled at this point. Everything going right for the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, and of course they got to stay on it to make sure it stays that way, because obviously Winnipeg having their challenge in the faceoff dot to start, it's kind of 80% leaning toward Dallas in this first period, but considering they lost that opening draw on the PK, they did a great job to get that puck out and then thwart a couple of entries.
Lindell moved it ahead for Seguin. Chopped inside the Winnipeg end. Slammed around the boards by Sandberg, but not out. Kept in by Lindell. He will get it back in behind the net. Lowry goes after it, rolled it around to the far side as he beat Seguin to the puck and then moved it along the boards and out towards center ice. As Lindell to center, shoots it back in. Two off the handles and rolled back in behind the net for Hellebuck. Grabbed again here by Sandberg for Fleury. Fleury for Sandberg, back in behind the net. Sandberg trying to fight off a check, and he does. Moved it efficiently up along the boards, and now scooting out towards center ice. Iafallo across the line, he's all alone. Iafallo moves in, shooting! And he missed short side. Doubled around to the far side, Lowry. Back to the near side for Sandberg. Sandberg shoot! It's off a shin pad. Lowry after the puck. It's touched by Dallas. There'll be a penalty coming up against the Dallas Stars for tripping as Lowry was upended in the slot, managed to make the pass to Sandberg, but Jamie Benn will take the call.
Dallas penalty number 14, 2 minutes for tripping.
And we'll have some 4-on-4 for 28 seconds.
Kind of a tough shift for Jamie Benn, who is out-muscled by Dylan Sandberg, who got great position on him at the far end of the ice in Winnipeg zone before Winnipeg sent Iafallo through the neutral zone on that rush. And then later on in the shift, as Adam Lowry comes on the ice for Morgan Barron, who went off for a change, the shot from Iafallo comes around the boards, and Lowry's in the perfect spot to get it. He goes to cut to the middle of the ice, and I think he was going to pass off to Sandberg anyways, but he got tripped up by Jamie Benn, and ultimately was the only play he had left because of that trip.
So 4-on-4 hockey for 28 seconds, and then Dylan DeMello, unless there's any other infractions, will get out of the penalty box, and the Jets will have a power play. Face off to the right of Ottinger. 2-0 Winnipeg, 5:16 remaining in this first period. Nemestikov will take the draw against Hintz. Hintz will win it into where the corner. Labushkin pushed against the boards. He waited too long. Nemestikov is there. There are 2 stars in to help out is Perfetti. Now 3 stars are there. Harley, Hintz, and Labushkin. On the periphery, Fleury as well. Winnipeg killing off some time. 10 seconds to go in 4-on-4. They win the battle. Back toward the line. Far side, Miller shoots. Blocked away by Onger. Up in the air. Grabbed by Winnipeg. Back toward the line. Miller slings it toward the net. Deflected net front by Nemestikov. He just put it over the goal. Grabbed in the corner on the far side by Vladislav Nemestikov. Winnipeg now on the power play for Prairie Battery. Back toward the line to the near side for Connor. Connor along the boards. Connor now darts into where the slot. Tried to pass it off. Broken up and intercepted by Rope Hintz. He swings out towards center ice, and he'll lob it down inside that Winnipeg end. Jets power play for Prairie Battery. Your one-stop battery source is Winnipeg-born and Canadian-owned. PrairieBattery.ca. Jets on the power play for the 3rd time tonight. They are 1 for 2, and it's sent all the way down the ice once again by Dallas.
Winnipeg just misfiring on a pass on the entry there, just out of the reach of Nikolai Ehlers. Dallas able to grab it, send it back down the ice.
Morrissey into where the middle for Scheifele. He advances it down on the near side for Ehlers. Ehlers trying to jam it along the boards. Morrissey helped out far side. Vilardi down along the boards. High slot for Connor. Swings it toward the net. Blocked it away by Ottinger. First touch, Ehlers into where the corner. Dropped it for Scheifele. Back to the line for Morrissey. Far side for Connor. Up top for Morrissey. Morrissey to the near side. Hash for Scheifele. Scheifele maneuvering. Scheifele rink wide to the far side for Ehlers. Couldn't get a clean touch on that. Put it back into where the corner for Connor. Back toward the line for Morrissey. Morrissey far side for Ehlers. Walking right in. Ehlers dusts it off. Shoots. Stopped by Ottinger. He'll hang on for a whistle. 8 seconds remaining. The penalty to Jamie Benn. 3:24 still to go in the first period. 2-0 Winnipeg.
Still a good shot mentality from the Winnipeg Jets on the power play. A good look for Kyle Connor. At a point where Winnipeg's power play was a little bit all over the ice, he's got Mark Scheifele net front as well, and Connor lets the shot go, and a good blocker save by Ottinger, and Nikolai Ehlers rarely passing up an opportunity to get a puck to the net.
Back toward the line. Winnipeg wins the draw. Neil Pionk, far side slap shot, stopped in front. Walking right into that was Sandberg, and then it came back to him. Bouncing puck, and he's taken off the puck, and a lead pass for Benn from Wyatt Johnston out of the penalty box. Broken up by Sandberg, doing it at both ends here right now. Out towards center ice. So Dallas is back to full strength. Winnipeg 1 for 3 with a man advantage. Stars come inside that Winnipeg end. Johnston carved off the puck, grabbed it again. Back with a high slot. Quick shot. Marchment gloved down by Alba. And he'll hang on for a whistle. Somebody broke a stick. And there's some unpleasantries going on again. This time Marchment and Lowry. Lowry absolutely ushered Marchment into the back wall to the side of the Winnipeg Jets net. Linesmen move in to break that up. We're going to have a dry scrape, and I don't believe there's any penalties forthcoming out of all of that. 2:54 remaining in this opening period. The score, Winnipeg 2. Maybe Marchment's going to get a call. Dallas nothing. We'll straighten it out when we come back. You're listening to Play Now. Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
You know what goes well with pizza from Santa Lucia Pizza. They've been the leaders in quality since 1971, and now they just keep winning award after award after award. So, sounds like they know a thing or two about making tasty pizza. How about this? When you're getting ready on game day, choose one of Santa Lucia Pizza's many specials or combos and find out why time and time again it's listed as Manitoba's favorite pizza.
Santa Lucia Pizza.
It's all about the sauce.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become... Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Winnipeg, are you whiteout ready? Choose Hometown Pride. Choose 1919. Brewed by Little Brown Jug, Manitoba's flagship beer since 2016. Here's to building something memorable.
Manitobans know our weather can be all over the place. Today, it might be cold and shitty, but tomorrow, you might feel like an egg cooking on the sidewalk. Get ahead of the weather changes with reliable heating and air conditioning. Hi, I'm Kelsey Waters. Call us today and get a preseason checkup of your air conditioner before the hot summer days arrive. Plus, get a $50 gift card just by referring a friend to Reliable Heating. We are family strong, reliable strong, and Winnipeg strong. For details, visit reliableheatair.ca.
This is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
Jet fans, tonight's feature item of the game. Check out the exclusive Barteski Whiteout Apparel collection designed by local artist Cal Barteski. Choose from a variety of styles. As Dallas has the puck in toward the corner on the far side, rolled around here to the near side. Marchment with the puck, no penalties as we come back from our broadcast timeout. Winnipeg leads it 2-0, 2:40 remaining in the first period. Up along the boards, held by Petrovic. He'll sling it toward the net. That went wide to the near side. Bischel. His shot flutters wide. Bounce back in toward the corner. Marchment back in by the net for Robertson. Robertson back toward the line. Petrovic shoots, deflected in front. Stopped by Hellebuck. Rebound in toward the corner. Pulled off the wall there by Shifley. Far side to Mello. Moved up along the wing now for Vilardi. And Vilardi got it back again. He's triple teamed. Knocked off the puck by Johnson, gave Johnson a little shot. Vilardi tried to swat it inside the zone, and it's touched on the far side by a skate of a Dallas Star. As they were changing, there'll be a too many men call. That's an easy one for the officials against the Dallas Stars.
You would think, but I don't see a signal being made, which would then lead me to wonder why they're
blowing it down.
Blowing it down, yeah. Like both the linesmen literally just blew the whistle and just pointed to the face-off dot just outside the blue line. So I'm not sure what the whistle would be for outside of 5-on-5. A weird moment there.
My apologies. Fans don't like it, and I don't blame them. Everybody saw what went on. The player hopped on the ice and then hopped back over into the bench, realizing that he was going to be nabbed for too many men, but they didn't call it. So Winnipeg back inside their own zone will backhand it all the way down, race for the puck, and after it goes Ceci. First one on it though to roll it around is Barrett. Captured again by Lindell. Up along the boards for Ben. He'll delay and almost turned it over, and he did at center ice. Back the other way, Tanev across the line, trying to feed it in front. Bounced off a skate, held at the line by Sandberg, winds up, shoots, and he ripped it over the net with a slap shot. Cascades around to the far side. Duchesne rolled it around to the near side. 90 seconds remaining in this opening period. 2-0 Winnipeg. Seguin will send it out towards center ice. Picked up there by Ehlers. Curved back inside his own zone. Now on a line change, he will put it into fifth gear. The dashing Dane across the line into where the corner, trying to put it toward the net. Fanned on that. Grabbed again here by Perfetti. Kicking it around the boards. Nemesnikov back in behind the net. Swatted off his stick. Grabbed by Harley. Beatles to the far side. Reverses near side. Labushkin. Labushkin up along the boards to the near side for Granlund. He turned it over. Winnipeg will puncture it right back inside that Dallas end. Again after to the near side. Granlund helped out by Hintz. In front of his own net for Harley. Harley will lead the attack at center and shoot it down inside that Winnipeg end. 45 seconds remaining in this opening period. Winnipeg will swat it out towards center ice. It goes off of CC, spills back inside that Dallas end. He reverses for Lindell. Lindell, too far for him. Winnipeg will hold the line. Lowry trucks after it as he flipped it back into where the corner. 30 seconds to go. Rolled around to the near side for Randon. Randon, long lead pass, picked off by Neil Pionk. He'll shoot it right back in. 20 seconds to go in the period. Rimmed around to the near side. Niederreiter shoots. And it's gloved down by Ottinger. As Niederreiter pulled it off the wall by the hash marks and just put it back toward the net. And Ottinger will hang on for a whistle. By the way, choose from a variety of styles. So we're talking about the Cal Barteski collection. Available at TrueNorthShot.com. That's the official Barteski Whiteout Apparel jet skier, the official team store of the Winnipeg Jets.
Like Winnipeg keeping the pressure up here in the last couple of minutes of the first period of this game number 2 against the Dallas Stars. And how about Morgan Barron and the closing speed on Cody Ceci? A, I don't think it was going to be icing, but B, it just puts a lot of pressure on Ceci to make a play. And then Winnipeg has support coming up ice. Dallas not able to really get out of there without any issue.
That's a good point. Pressure is not necessarily for you to get the puck, but for one of your teammates to do. And Winnipeg gave it away. High slot. Robertson shoots. Stopped by Hellebuck. Oh boy, Winnipeg gave it away, and Robertson took the puck right down Broadway. An excellent save by Connor Hellebuck. Time expires to end the first period. And that would have been a heartbreaker for Winnipeg as Robertson took the puck as Winnipeg was trying to break out and then shot it. Hellebuck makes another save, and the horn sounds to end 20 minutes of hockey. A pretty impressive 20 minutes of hockey for the Winnipeg Jets, leading 2-0 after 1.
Yeah, exactly what they were looking for in terms of a start. And we kind of said in the opening, too, just the fact that, you know, it doesn't have to be result in a goal, but you really want to see your game in something that looks familiar as you get into the period and start rolling some shifts over, and that's exactly what Winnipeg did. Now, they got the opportunity with the early power play. They took advantage of that to get the first goal, but then kept on it, kept the pressure up, forced some Dallas turnovers, and yeah, do you get the benefit of a nice little bounce on the Nikolai Ehlers goal? Absolutely, but I would say Nikolai Ehlers has more than earned that bounce over the course of his postseason so far.
Let's have a look at the stat summary through 20 minutes. Winnipeg gets on the board first. Gabriel Vilardi, his first of the playoffs from Nikolai Ehlers and Josh Morrissey on the power play at 3:35. 1-0 Winnipeg. Ehlers shot the puck, hit the post. It was sitting there. Vilardi jammed it home past Jake Ottinger. 1-0 Winnipeg. 4 minutes later at 7:07, Nikolai Ehlers even strength. His first from Fleury and Scheifele. 2-0 Winnipeg. And that's where we sit at the end of 20 minutes. Vilardi is first. Ehlers is first of the playoffs. 2-0 Winnipeg. Goals coming at 3:35 and 7:07. Winnipeg 1 for 3 with the man advantage in that first period. Dallas 0 for 2, and the Jets out shooting the Stars in that first 20 minutes, 13-7. So an excellent period, an excellent start for the Winnipeg Jets in that opening 20 minutes here of game number 2.
And I would imagine for the players as well, like Nikolai Ehlers and Gabriel Vilardi, who came into the postseason a little bit later on in that St. Louis Blues series. I'm sure they've started to feel better and better and better as the game's gone on. And now they got the reward for their hard work. Gabriel Vilardi in game 1 had a couple of opportunities right in front of Ottinger. So for him, I'm sure it feels good to get that one to go. The power play gets rolling in this series as well. A whole lot of positives in that period for the Winnipeg Jets to go along with the 2-0 lead.
Just a reminder, game 3 Sunday at 3:30 in the afternoon. Game 4, both in Dallas, of course. Game 3 and 4, Tuesday at 7 p.m. And certainly Winnipeg looking to win tonight and then forcing, for sure, a game number 5 back here on Thursday in Winnipeg. And that's where you get into everybody predicting it was going to be a long series. We'll find out what happens here tonight, as Winnipeg would love to split after losing game 1 on Wednesday 3-2 to the Dallas Stars. And Tyler Seguin said the mission is to come in and wrestle away home ice advantage. They did that with game number 1. As Vilardi is ready to go with us, Gabe Vilardi from downstairs as he adjusts the headset. Thanks a lot for taking the time. And would you describe that first period as being excellent for your team?
I mean, it was good. I don't know if excellent exists, but we had a good first. We got a 2-0 lead here, early power play goal, and we got to keep it going. Bucky made some big saves too.
And Gabe, obviously for the power play, you guys have been so good over the course of the year and the playoffs, just especially coming into this game, you know, wanting a good start for your team. You get that 4-minute power play opportunity. Just how huge was it for you guys to take advantage of that and get this thing rolling the right way?
Yeah, you said it's a big opportunity, and we were fortunate enough to get one and get the early lead and kind of gain some momentum through that.
And to that point, how important was it for you to get the touch on that for a power play goal off the post?
Yeah, that was a snipe by me, huh? No, it was good. It felt good to score. I feel like last game was kind of my best game of the playoffs so far. I'm kind of back in the speed of things, and I think we had a lot of chances last game that we didn't capitalize, and it was good for us to get a goal early on the power play.
You didn't like the adjective excellent. I like the adjective snipe. Thanks very much for your time. Good luck in the second and third.
Yeah, thanks.
Gabe Vilardi from downstairs joining us here as his team leads it 2-0 after one period of play. Vilardi is first. Ehlers his first. 3:35, 7:07. And two guys that Mitchell Clinton talked about he was going to keep an eye on as we were discussing in our preamble before puck drop. Important to the Winnipeg Jets for those two to get involved, both coming off of injury into the playoffs and getting up to speed. And I can say that they're probably up and running now with a couple of points. Vilardi a goal, Ehlers with a goal and an assist in that opening 20 minutes. First intermission report is coming up next with Kelly Moore and John Rempel. The score as mentioned after one. Winnipeg 2, Dallas 0. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Lowry moving in, shoot, score! Jets fans, it's your chance to win big all night long with our playoff 50-50 raffle. Get your tickets now for a shot at multiple cash prizes during the game, ranging from $1,000 to $25,000. Plus, one lucky winner will take home 50% of the total sales at the end of the series. Don't miss out. Text JETS to 20450 for your chance to win. That's JETS to 20450.
The power of nature flows through Manitoba. We harness it and turn it into reliable, affordable energy. It's not just energy. It's a promise that connects us all, a promise for the future. Our investment in Manitoba is significant, but the value we generate together is beyond measure. Manitoba Hydro, energy for life.
At Namath Diamonds, we know our diamonds. But what we do better than that is find the right one that makes you say,
oh, I love it.
I'm Joe Namath, and my family has been helping people find the perfect diamonds for over 30 years. Whether you're looking for engagement rings, custom jewelry, or repairs, we're here to help you. Because hearing,
this is amazing,
never gets old. Come see us today, and we'll show you why Namath Diamonds can't be beat. Namath Diamonds in Southdale Square.
It's like being right on the glass. Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
2-0. The Winnipeg Jets with the lead over the Dallas Stars after 20 minutes of play. And Melissa Toms, congratulations to you correctly predicting Gabe Vilardi with a snipe would be tonight's first goal of the game scorer for Winnipeg. So, Melissa, you have won a pair of single night tickets to the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, July 18th through 20th at Assiniboine Park. Kelly Moore along with the coach, John Rempel. And, Coach, I think a lot of boxes were ticked off in that first period for the Jets, were they not?
People are going to start thinking we know what we're talking about, Kelly.
No, they'll never do that. Don't worry about it.
Good point. Sorry. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, the aggressive start, the crowd into it, keeping the crowd into it, special teams, getting to the blue paint. Nikolai Ehlers, I mean, it's got to feel like the weight of the world is off the guy's shoulder. And, having 15,000 people scream for you. And, again, a little puck luck. Gabe Vilardi, we talked about it, getting close last game. Right spot, right time. So, again, you just said it, a lot of boxes checked.
Nikolai, though, put that off the post, just about a clean shot that goes in, and Gabe Vilardi's in the right place for it. And, you put the puck to the front of the net, you never know what will happen. I don't know if Nikolai saw where Esa Lindell was fronting up his man and maybe didn't see him, but it doesn't matter. Wound up getting past Jake Ottinger.
Much more direct play, and again for Ehlers, you can already tell that after that, subsequently, much more straight line, more pucks to the net, not a lot of deferring to stuff, and I think that's kind of transferred through the lineup here as well as tonight.
And playing the right way as well, John, there was that great shift by the number one line about midway through the period. But how does it start? It starts with Mark Scheifele protecting the puck along the left wing boards in his own zone.
Absolutely, and I mean, we talked about it in the pregame show too, about the transition play, about being able to attack with speed, and about details of your game. And again, that's the way that this Jets team plays, and that's what they can do to teams when they get offensively sort of moving and they run clean routes and they start interchanging in the zone. They start wearing teams down, and that's Winnipeg Jets hockey.
We saw the junkyard dog version of Neil Pionk in that battle with Mikko Rantanen. Keeping in mind, Neil gives up about 4 inches and probably about, 35 to 40 pounds?
I would think so, and that's clearly a matchup that the Jets like. It's clearly Pionk and Sandberg against Rantanen, and the thing with Neil Pionk, what he's so good at is getting into people and getting in their hands and getting inside them. And a player with length, like we talked about, Mikko Rantanen, 6'4", 215 or 220 or exactly whatever he is, you have to get inside of his body and get into his stick and get into his hands. And Dylan Sandberg laid the lumber on with a heavy hit on that power play. And I think Mikko Rantanen felt that because he got up slowly. He didn't really do much for the rest of that power play. Mind you, Dallas wasn't able to really enter, but he kind of hung out on the perimeter.
So the start of the St. Louis series, it was like the Jets almost could not kill off a penalty. But if you go to the latter stages of Game 3, the Jets were taking a parade to the penalty box by that point in the game, but they killed off the final 2 St. Louis power plays that night. So starting with those 2 and including the 2 tonight, that's now 16 out of the last 17 for Jets penalty killing. What do you see?
Well, I mean, I think, Kelly, it's certainly 4 people playing a little more connected, and they are being able to shrink space on Dallas in this case. They started shrinking the ice on St. Louis later in that series, and they started just more connected and being able to make adjustments in real time to what the other team is doing. In this case, Dallas likes to work pucks low to high. They like to go wide. They also like to, they'll go 5-person spread at times, so the Jets are very connected. And again, when one person's moving, all 3 are moving.
One of the things I will never, ever be able to figure out are face-offs. Mark Scheifele goes 18-10 in Game 1. He's 0 for 7 so far tonight. Dallas won 17 of 21 face-offs in that first period.
Well, I mean, if there's one negative about that period, that's exactly it, Kelly. You've touched on it. I mean, that's not something that you want to see continue, because you can't be, especially in the second period, you cannot be starting without the puck all the time in the second period. So there's something. I can't really explain it either. It could be a matchup thing tonight. It might be a little bit of a different matchup. I'm not sure, Kelly, but there's going to have to be probably a more sort of a game plan and a willingness for 50-50 draws, scramble draws, winger help, and to kind of sort of turn the tide there, because you cannot start without the puck all the time.
Couple more things before we have to take a break here, Coach. And I want to get your interpretation of the too many men on the ice decision by the officials. If you were Scott Arniel at the Winnipeg bench, would you be hopping mad, or would you be saying, oh, okay, I get that?
My only interpretation of that one is that neither one of the 2 Dallas players made an attempt to play the puck. So whoever it was going off. It hit him in the left skate, and I think Ben was coming on.
Actually, it was the other way around. It was the player that was coming on who the puck hit the skate. Right. The player that was already on, rather. The player that was trying to come on, as soon as he hits it, sees it hit the skate.
He jumped back off. So, again, neither player made an actual attempt to play the puck. And I think the referee's discretion is that if there's not an attempt to play the puck and the other player makes an attempt to get back off the ice, they will not call it.
And how big was that blocker saved by Connor Hellebuck at the end of the first?
I mean, the period was over. I thought it was killed, and Dylan DeMello made a really kind of a curious decision there to try to move that puck up middle ice, and I thought he would just kill it after Josh Morrissey. But okay, there's the difference, Kelly, and I mean, that's a good sign for Winnipeg Jets fans. Connor Hellebuck telescopes out, aggressive on the puck, attacks the puck, and shuts the door.
We shall talk to you, Coach, during the second intermission. 2-0, the Jets leading it after 1. Scoreboard update next on Power 97 at 680 CJOB.
From generation to generation, dairy farming has changed for the better. On my farm, we use technology to help us run things more efficiently, monitor the health of our herd, and produce high-quality milk. Because dairy farming is just as much about innovation as it is about agriculture. And I'm proud of that, because that's what makes everything we do all from a good place.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become... Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Noble, proud, feathered to stay warm. Goes great with watching hockey. Turkey, perfectly Canadian. Buy Canadian turkey and support Canadian farmers like me.
Tired of the mortgage rate waiting game? With Cambrian Credit Union's exclusive Best of Both Worlds mortgage, you can unweight mortgage rates. Get Cambrian's lowest fixed rate right now for a 2-year term. And
hey, sports fans, thank you so much for hanging out with us here on Toronto Sports Insider during the Playoff Pulse. Our mission is simple, bringing sports fans together to hang out, cheer, and change the world, one insider at a time, while supporting SickKids Hospital in Toronto every single game.
Cheers, insiders and sports fans from around the world. The Playoff Pulse campaign on Toronto Sports Insider is uniting fans worldwide through the thrill of NHL and NBA playoffs. Every game, every fan, every moment counts. The link is pinned in the chat and in the description. Check out our campaign page. Donate if you can, or share it with friends. Holy Mackinac! Every click helps sick kids heal the future. Just by being here, you have already made an impact. Now, chat it up, keep it classy, and let's keep changing the world one insider at a time.
Now tied 1-1 in the NBA playoffs. Cleveland got on the board as they defeat the Pacers 126-104 in Indiana. Indy still leading that playoff 2-0. Oklahoma City playing tonight in Denver, and it's 26-18 late in the first quarter. Toronto's up 5-1 in Seattle, top of the fourth. The Winnipeg Goldeyes are leading Cleburne 6-4 in the top of the eighth in the American Association. 2-0 Jets as we go to the second period next on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
In today's business world, hiring and retaining staff is a challenge, but Chambers Plan Employee Benefits gives you an edge. A solid benefits plan can be the deciding factor for job seekers. 30,000 Canadian businesses agree. Chambers Plan gives you the flexibility to offer comprehensive benefits with affordable, stable premiums. See how Chambers Plan can benefit your business at buychambers.ca. That's BUY Chambers.ca.
Fighting crime and crime one drain at a time. There's a reason they call us Mr., as in Mr. Rooter. Every spring, our fair city is under attack by clogged drains and backed up sewers. When melting snow and heavy rains threaten to cause sewage and wastewater to back up into your home, only Mr. Rooter stands between your basement and total plumbing chaos. Call them today to clean your sewers and drains.
Born to be a hero, trained to be a plumber. That's Mr. Rooter.
Experience the excitement at South Beach Casino and Resort as we celebrate 20 fantastic years, and we have you to thank. We appreciate your support over the last 2 decades, so come celebrate our 20th anniversary with us. We're kicking things off April 21st with a chance to win a brand new Jeep Sahara. Winner announced May 31st. 20 years, now that's worth celebrating at South Beach Casino and Resort. Details at southbeachcasino.ca.
Hi, I'm Colin Miller. You're listening to Winnipeg Jets Hockey with Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton on 680 CJOB.
And we welcome you back to the broadcast booth, which is for Name of Diamonds. For your diamond engagement ring, see Name of Diamonds, a family tradition of excellence in Southdale Square. 2-0 for Winnipeg after 1. Just about ready for the start of the second period. Long change for both teams. Vilardi is first. Ehlers is first in the first period. Winnipeg getting the start that they wanted. Second period opening faceoff is brought to you by Cambria Credit Union. Looking for a mortgage? Get peace of mind and flexibility with the new best of both worlds mortgage. Visit Cambrian.mb.ca. Shifley will take the draw against Wyatt Johnston. Johnston, an excellent player, but he's a -10 in the playoffs coming into this game. Puck is off the stick and it flies into the seats, and that will be an early souvenir. 7 seconds into this second period, so we get a whistle. Both periods to start 7 seconds in. We had an icing in the first, and now a puck over the boards here in the second.
I believe they call those analytics. I think Winnipeg in this period would like to, get to their game a little bit more at 5-on-5, spend a little bit more time in the offensive zone. Dallas, certainly as that period went on, started to get their legs under them. So a bit of pushback from Dallas in the first. So we'll see if Winnipeg can kind of keep their game at their level, spend a little bit more time in the Dallas end here.
Lowry rotating off a check there from Marchment. Flipped it out toward the line. Helped along by Connor. Pushed it back inside his own zone. D to D and Miller. Miller now starts to skate north. Moved it ahead for Shifley. Swatted inside that Dallas end. Rolled back in behind the net. Connor will pick that off. Connor darting around into where the corner. Twisting and turning. Flipped it back in behind the net for Shifley. Protects the puck against Lindell. Put it back toward the line for Fleury. Back to the near side for Miller. Wrister toward the net. Went wide. Tumbled back into where the corner. Shifley out in front for Connor. A quick shot. And that's blocked. And the rebound bounces off a body and back out towards center ice. Fleury shifts back inside his own zone for Miller. On to the far side. Hit a body there of Vilardi. Settled down now by Connor. Flip back inside the Dallas end. Long lead pass. Goes off the stick of Brandon. He takes a hard body check, trying to skedaddle after that puck by Miller inside the Winnipeg end. Picked up by Neil Pionk. Pionk onto the far side for Appleton. Came across the line. Stayed on side. Works the puck into where the corner got squeezed against the boards. Rimmed around to the far side. After it there goes Lowry. Lowry the side of the net. Tried to put it out in front. That hit a body. Lowry after it again. To the near side. Niederreiter again for Appleton. Rimmed it around far side for Sandberg. Threw it back toward the net. Deflected net front by Lowry. And that went off the crossbar, I think. And bounced into where the corner. To the near side. Flush back out towards center ice by Dallas. Shot right back in by Winnipeg. We'll get an offside call against the Jets.
And that's exactly the start that I think Winnipeg would be looking for right there. You get the Shifley line to go, spend some time in that offensive zone, work that puck around, and then the Lowry line pops out right after that. And I think you're right, Paul. This does go off the crossbar. It wasn't one of those deflections where it's kind of a laser beam going into the top corner. It had a little bit of float to it, and it kind of dropped down and clinked off the bar there.
Winnipeg at center ice. Knocked it inside the zone. Picked up by Morrissey. Morrissey at the near side. Quick shot. Ehlers back door. Looking for Perfetti. He was just a little tardy getting there. Out towards center ice. Dallas can maneuver a couple of passes together. Winnipeg will dump it back inside that Stars end. After Perfetti against Labushkin. In to help out Nemestikov. Pushed against the boards and stapled there by Harley. Kicked around the board to the near side. Pinching in is DeMello. DeMello now again for Perfetti. Into where the corner Nemestikov. Nemestikov held against the boards here. 2-0 Winnipeg. Jets will put it back for the line. Held by DeMello. Rimmed around to the far side. Seguin will go after it. Peel it off the boards. Wait for Labushkin to help out. He'll put it back in behind his own net. Carousels around the boards, and Harley will dump it out towards center and all the way down. Hopped over a stick of one of the Jets. Icing washed out. Hellebuck will send it around to the far side. Chipped off the boards again here by Tanev. And then a reload for Dallas. They can't get the puck to Rantanen, and Rantanen will give it up at the Jets line. DeMello to the near side again. Morgan Barron after the puck, trying to put it on in front. Ball was there. And a redirect stop by Ottinger, and then pounding back toward the net. Once again was Tanev, and he might have got a puck toward the goal, and somehow that was bounced off a body as well. Out towards center ice. Maneuvering there and navigating back inside the zone is Miller. He'll backhand it in. 16:50 remaining in this second period. Winnipeg all over Dallas right now. Here comes Steele across the line. Stops up to the near side, taking off the puck. Winnipeg will turn it north. Vilardi overskated it, and then it's shot right back in by Dallas inside that Winnipeg end. Hellebuck will stop that. Sent around to the near side. Out of his own zone, Miller, long lead pass off the stick of Connor. Icing should be washed out, and it is. Back to collected Lindell. Up along the boards there, stopped by Vilardi. But Vilardi overskated it. It's tumbled back inside that Winnipeg end. And icing will be the call against Dallas off the stick of Mason Marchment. 16-19 remaining in this second period. 2-0 for the Jets. Winnipeg Jets hockey brought to you in part by Mid-Canada Fasters, Santa Lucia Pizza, and Mr. Furnace.
And of course, if you listen to the intermission report, as you should, you would know that Winnipeg in that first period only won 4 of 21 face-offs, so something they would certainly like to correct here in the second period, especially off an icing.
And Dallas wins that one and lobs it out towards center ice, and it falls back inside that Winnipeg end. Morrissey back in behind his own net. Long indirect pass for Vilardi. Redirected down inside that Dallas end. Robertson moving it to the near side. Long lead pass again. Too far for everybody. And another icing call against Dallas. We'll see if the Jets can win this draw.
Yeah, they'll go with the Nemesnikov line here. And after the Scheifele line just not quite able to take advantage of that offensive zone draw. But Winnipeg certainly has Dallas looking a little discombobulated coming up the ice. They've missed a couple of passes just on trying to get through that neutral zone. And then also on that one, a little bit of a stretch play that just misfires.
We do it to the right of Ottinger. 4 minutes have expired in this second period. And it's won by Johnston against Nemesnikov. Rimmed around on the near side. Robertson had some problems with it. In to help out. One of his defensemen flipped out towards center ice. Off the stick of Lindell. Shot right back in by Nemesnikov. Tumbled around to the near side. Lindell hard up along the boards here to try to get it out. Got a second opportunity and did. Bounced it out towards center ice right between the legs of Neil Pionk, and it flitters back inside that Winnipeg end. Sandberg rotates back in behind his own net for Pionk in front of his own goal to the near side. Cast ahead. Nemesnikov shoots it inside that Dallas end. Quickly pass now again out towards center ice. Granlund across the line for Rantanen. Dropped it now for Rope. Hintz moves in, shoots, stopped by Hellebuck. Rebound gathered up by Rantanen. Into where the corner, back toward the line. Bouncing puck, swatted away out of the air nicely by DeMello. Shot right back in by Harley. Too hot to handle for Hellebuck. Into where the corner, Sandberg trying to sweep it around the boards. Stopped by Rantanen. Brushed it back in behind the net. Fending off a check as DeMello moved it up along the board to the near side. Out towards center ice is Appleton. He didn't like the read, and he'll curl back. Winnipeg wants a line change. Appleton back inside his own zone. He pushed it in for Lowry. Button hooking at his own line. He'll cast it in from center ice. Glove down by Ottinger. And he'll hang on for a whistle. 14:45 remaining in the second period. 2-0 Winnipeg.
I tell you what, Josh Morrissey and Dylan DeMello get themselves into defensive position really quickly here. Winnipeg very nearly getting caught on a line change. Obviously, the second period, a long change for the team, so sometimes getting the D off the ice can be a little bit of a challenge. And Dallas trying a quick up that almost leads to an odd man rush, but Winnipeg does well to defend.
Face off to the left of Ottinger. Dallas wins the draw. Sprayed out towards center ice. Settled down by Miller inside his own zone. Sent off the boards. Gathered up by Jamie Benn. Scared off his stick there by Lowry. Now for Appleton. Far side for Morrissey. Up along the wing and bounced off the boards back inside that Dallas end. Stars will free it up to the near side here in Sagan. Stumbled to the Jets line, but it ticked off the skate. Icing washed out. Hellebuck just about lost the puck. Came back to where the line. Bouncing around there. Held momentarily by Lindell, but sprinting out of his own zone as Morrissey leading the attack to the near side for Appleton. Pass was too far for him, but he dug it off the wall. Got it out in front for Lowry, who was not expecting it. And Lowry overskated it. Sagan turns in his own zone. Raced out to center. Dumped it back in. Dallas will make some changes. Swooping through that neutral ice is Morrissey. Far side, he'll guide it inside on that Dallas end with some help from Lowry. Under 14 minutes remaining in this second period. 2-0 Winnipeg. Both goals coming in the first period. Long lead pass goes by everybody right on top of Hellebuck. Hellebuck will play it to the near side for Tanev. He got a little bit of help again. Guides that puck out towards center ice. We'll get a stoppage of play. It's a glove hand pass to the advantage of the Winnipeg Jets. We'll get a face-off of the neutral ice upon our return. 13:36 remaining in this second period. The score, Winnipeg 2, Dallas nothing. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Boston Pizza is Canada's go-to place for playoffs. So this year, we're doing more than just hoping a Canadian team wins it all. We're manifesting it. We're planning the parade. We even got a bus. And we've got the sports bar dialed in, with ice-cold draft beer and an elite playoff menu. Like the guy in the movie said, kind of.
If we plan it, we will win.
So when it's game day, post up early at BP and cheer for the Holy Grail to come home.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become... Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Grab your jersey. Grab your generic lager. Impressively standard beer for impressively intense moments. Brewed in Winnipeg by Little Brown Jug. Generic, the most domestic choice.
At Namath Diamonds, we know our diamonds. But what we do better than that is find the right one that makes you say,
I love it.
I'm Joe Namath, and my family has been helping people find the perfect diamonds for over 30 years. Whether you're looking for engagement rings, custom jewelry, or repairs, we're here to help you. Because hearing,
this is amazing,
never gets old. Come see us today, and we'll show you why Namath Diamonds can't be beat. Namath Diamonds in Southdale Square.
Bet on Manitoba. Enjoy responsibly. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on 680 CJOB.
There are more than 600,000 reasons to celebrate this second round with the Winnipeg Jets 50-50 playoff mega raffle. Currently over $654,000 and growing. Win $1,000 to $25,000 cash prizes during game days, or take home half the total on this progressive pot at the end of the series. Text JETS to 20450 to get your 50-50 tickets now. $654,000. 2-0 Winnipeg. 13 minutes remaining in this second period. Here they come again. Marching in. Far side, Lowry trucking toward the net. Shoots. That went wide. Gathered up by Appleton. He'll hold the line. Spins it in toward the corner. Niederreiter takes a couple of hard body checks from his countryman there, and Bischel came back along the board to the near side, scurrying out towards center ice. Granlund in toward the middle now for Petrovic, and he'll slide it down inside that Winnipeg end with a wrist shot. Grabbed along the boards here by Pion. Flipped back out towards center ice. Back inside his own zone. Wyatt Johnson gave it away. Appleton cross-ice pass. Off the bench comes Scheifele. Dropped it now, and a shot from Sandberg for Scheifele for Appleton in front of the net. Came back toward the line. Winnipeg will hold the line. A good line change on the far side. After it again into where the corner. Scheifele scraped off the puck, and it's flipped all the way down by Dallas. This will be icing against the Stars.
Winnipeg so close to building that lead to 3-0, and Mason Appleton a couple of times on this shift with some puck corralling ability, I guess is the best way I can put it. First one was coming high off the boards, and he was able to knock it down, and then he keeps the play alive at the blue line and goes D to D, and all the Stars were kind of stuck on one side of the ice, and that's what gave Scheifele all that room to work with, and he dishes it back to Sandberg and heads right to the net.
Back toward the line. Winnipeg wins the draw. DeMello through traffic, hit a body. Came back toward the line and just tossed out towards center ice. Mello turns his skates back inside his own zone to retrieve it. Far side for Morrissey into where the middle for Scheifele at center ice. He'll backhand it in. Connor goes after it. Flush back out towards center ice. Nudged by Wyatt Johnston down inside that Winnipeg end. On the retrieve, Morrissey. Skirted around to the near side to Mello. Sends it off the glass and grabbed there by Vilardi. Wheels out towards center ice. 3-on-2 far side for Connor moving right in. Connor didn't shoot the puck. Back toward the line for Morrissey. Whipped toward the net. Blocked it away by Ottinger. Grabbed again on the first touch. Scheifele. Back toward the line to Mello. Up top now. Morrissey shoots. Blockered in front and kicked into where the corner there by Lindalis. He blocked that shot. Kicked into the corner. Rolled it up along the boards. And Ceci will get it out towards center ice. He'll smash it off the boards and send it down inside the Winnipeg end. He'll race after it. Take a body check. Swooping into where the corner in his own zone. Connor can't get it out. Back to the line for Harley. Harley will shoot it into where the corner for Ben. Nudged off that puck with a good little cross check from behind there by DeMello. But Ben goes back after it. Back toward the line here. Slap shot by Labushkin. Ben on that. Gathered up by Connor. Backhanded into where the middle of the ice for Scheifele. Shifts out towards center ice. Then flopped it right on top of Ottinger, who will glove that down and hang on, and both teams will make some changes.
This goes to show you a little turnover at the blue line by Winnipeg, and it comes back the other way. It's happened a couple of times in this game. That was a kind of an area that Adam Lowry pointed to after game one. He turned the puck over there. Dallas is going to attack the other way.
Duchesne will flip the puck inside the Winnipeg end from center, and it goes back in behind the net, over the glass into the meshing. So we will do it at center ice. 10:53 remaining in this second period. 2-0 Winnipeg. Winnipeg Jets hockey brought to you in part by St. Andrews Parts and Power. Wilsey forward, and Windeck.
Winnipeg's puck support's been quite good in their own zone when they've been in their own zone in this period, and just outlets for players to go to when they're under pressure.
Dumped inside the Winnipeg end. Back in behind his own net. Sandberg up along the boards. Pion. Outletted for Perfetti. Sent all the way down. Race for the puck. And like Nikolai Ehlers was there first. He got bumped off the puck by Lyubushkin, and they blow it down for icing against the Jets. And the requisite groaning coming from the 15,225 here tonight.
Yeah, Lyubushkin certainly runs a little bit of a path to try to take Ehlers to the outside so that he doesn't have that inside position on that puck, and Ehlers does the veteran thing and takes his sweet time getting all the way back down the ice.
Mestikov against Hintz, and Mestikov wins that one. Curling back in behind his own net. Sandberg outletted far side for Nikolai Ehlers, cruising through that neutral ice. Skedaddles into the corner, trying to get it back out in front, broken up by Harley. Winnipeg in on him, though. Lyubushkin will get a handoff to the near side for Rantanen. He will go rink wide, intercepted by Sandberg. Steps up on that, flipped it back inside that Dallas fan. Back in behind the net. A couple of Jets are there. They came away with a puck into the corner. Barron back to the line. Shot came in from Fleury. That one wide to the near side. Miller will go after it. He'll hold the line. Brian follow into the corner. Tanev rolled it around to the far side for Barron. Barron back down low here for Rope Hint. He tried to go after it. Came off his stick. Bounced around to the far side. And then shoveled out towards center by Granlund. Winnipeg will snatch that. Cruise back inside their own zone. Lead pass Miller. Tanev across the line. Iafallo shoots from far out. That one wide. Tanev will take it off the wall. Rimming around to the near side. Miller hustles there to hold the line. Miller will throw it around back in behind the net. Lyubushkin is there. Hit on him quickly is Lowry. Lowry got inside position against a couple of Dallas Stars. Waiting for some help from Niederreiter, who shows up. And along with Appleton, 3 Jets are there, all 3 forwards. Right wing corner inside on that Dallas end. It's smothered against the boards there. It squirts free. Harley. Lowry took it off his stick, rolled it around for DeMello. Shoots the point as he waited for it off the stick of Niederreiter, cruising in front and just over the net. First touch, Niederreiter back to the line. DeMello shoots. That one wide. Off the back wall. Lowry shoots. Score! Adam Lowry with his 4th goal of the playoffs. And with under 9 minutes remaining in this second period, Winnipeg has taken a 3-0 lead. And you could smell that one coming from a mile away.
You could even say that this play starts, 30 seconds earlier. Colin Miller's going to think about going for a change, but that puck starts to come around to his side. He's got all the time in the world to make a play. But he knows there's nothing there. He can't just get it to the net. There's no traffic. So he sends it back around on a rim play right to Adam Lowry in the corner. And that Lowry line just goes to work down low, and they keep Dallas defending for much longer than they would have liked. And it results in a great chance in front, and Adam Lowry makes no mistake.
So Winnipeg has expanded their lead, and Dallas, the push will be on as we are halfway through this hockey game. Robertson across the line, whipped it toward the net. That one wide. 2-on-1 back the other way. Vilardi trying to catch up with Shifley. Shifley moving in, shooting, stop, rebound. And it's then poked in toward the corner by Petrovic, who goes after it, moved it up along the boards, and safely Dallas will get it out towards center ice. Lead pass too far for everybody. Right on top of Hellebuck. Icing is washed out. Spun around to the far side corner. Now into where the middle for Shifley. 3-on-2. Dances across the line. Tried to drop it for Connor. Wasn't expecting that. Wrists it out towards center ice. Back the other way is Johnston. Johnston moves in. Johnston waits. Backhand. He hit the post. Back out in front. It went by a couple Dallas Stars. Back to where the line is shot. And that stopped in front. Hellebuck's lost his stick. Winnipeg kicked it forward. And then plungered the puck out towards center ice. Back the other way. Far side. Duchesne. He moves inside that Winnipeg end. Back toward the line again for Ceci. Taking off the puck and racing out towards center ice with it is Ehlers. He'll backhand it inside that Dallas end. 7:40 remaining in this second period. 3-0 Winnipeg. Chance of MVP on a couple of saves by Connor Hellebuck. A couple without the stick in his hands. Out towards center ice. Neil Pionk will shoot it right back in. And Winnipeg will make some wholesale line changes.
I want to see a replay, but if Connor Hellebuck gets a glove on this diving save that he makes, it might be the save of the playoffs for him, and that includes the stick save in the first round.
Offside against the Jets by their own bench. 7:21 remaining in this second period. 3-0 Winnipeg. We'll tell you about all of that when we come back. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97 at 680 CJOB.
Jets fans, playoff hockey is back, and there's nothing bigger than the Winnipeg Whiteout. You can be here for every unforgettable history-making moment by becoming a season ticket member today. Experience the Whiteout inside Canada Life Center, live and in person. Get access to playoff packages and pre-sales for round 2 and beyond by visiting winnipegjets.com/memberships today. That's winnipegjets.com/memberships.
For fun and reliability you can count on, your one-stop battery source is Canadian-owned Prairie Battery.
Prairie Battery is family-owned and operated, providing reliable and trusted battery power. When you want true power, come see Prairie Battery and the Prairie Battery team, or visit us at prairiebattery.ca.
When you need batteries for industrial, commercial, auto, recreational, marine RVs, and more, it can only be prairiebattery.ca.
You need more laughter in your life. Get ready for a wild time at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, July 18th through 20th at Assiniboine Park. Get ready for a weekend packed with laughs from John Mulaney.
Wouldn't have happened on my watch.
Martin Short, Bert Kreischer, Theo Vaughn, Whitney Cummings, Jeremy Piven, Trailer Park Boys,
Decent,
Ms. Pat, Dusty Slay, and Laura Peak. Tickets on sale now at GreatOutdoorsComedyFestival.com.
Hey, this is Gabe Vilardi. Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton are bringing it Winnipeg Jets hockey style on 680 CJOB.
Lowry is fourth of the playoffs from DeMello and Niederreiter at 11:02 to make it 3-0. The only goal so far of this second period. Time of the goal for JS Furniture. Visit us online at furnitureandmore.ca. Offside will be the call as Winnipeg won that neutralized face-off. Appleton just slightly ahead of the play when Neil Pionk carried it back over. Winnipeg Jets hockey brought to you in part by Shine Dental, Mr. Reuter, and Cambrian Credit Union.
I think the forwards were anticipating Neil Pionk dumping that in, so they hit the line with some speed, and Pionk was going to skate it in. So a little bit of a miscommunication. Quick chat after that.
Winnipeg wins the draw. Hard charging along the boards is Sandberg. He'll promptly get it down inside that Dallas end. Bischel can't get it out. Kept in at the line by Pionk. Back down along the boards. Lowry pushing and shoving there with Bischel. Spins it around back toward the line. Pionk to the near side for Niederreiter. Backhands it back in behind the net. Odger sways out of his net to push that into where the corner. Winnipeg grinding and churning along the boards. Trying to get it back out in front. Came back toward the line. And Neil Pionk decided not to hold it. And it's dumped out towards center ice by Dallas. And then Petrovic hit Lowry into his own bench. They both collided. Lowry got the worst of that, but he was going off for a line change anyway. Out towards center ice. Backhanded into the middle of the ice. Here comes Iafallo swooping in, tried to center it out in front. Tanev had a stick going toward that loose puck and just couldn't get it in the top of that blue ice. Back the other way, Morgan Barron. He will fly by a check, try to go back door to the near side. And Tanev was all tied up at the side of the net. Puck is out of play. The whistle goes. Barron's got his helmet removed. Tanev is tied up with Leon Bischel at the side of the net. Linesman move in on that one. And it's Petrovic and Barron that have seatbelted each other. Both are missing helmets now. But Winnipeg is not standing in the way of getting involved in any of this. They are welcoming everything that Dallas throws at them, especially in front of that Dallas net.
Yeah, Barron going and trying to get engaged with Petrovic, the one that hit Adam Lowry. Of course, hit Winnipeg's captain. That's going to result in a response. Looks like it's going to be matching, I would guess, roughing minors on 4 total players, 2 on each side. Barron and Tanev for Winnipeg, Bischel and Petrovic for Dallas.
3-0 Winnipeg, 17-10 shots on goal. So Barron and Petrovic and Bischel and Tanev.
Number 28, as well as
Winnipeg 36 and 73, 2 minutes each for roughing.
So, Bishop, Petrovic, Barron, and Tanev.
Yeah, that's kind of about what you would expect when you got two players kind of locked in. I thought the Bishop and Tanev pushing and shoving was kind of the first one to happen, and then all of a sudden, kind of out of the corner, Barron and Petrovic appear, and Barron's helmet's off, and of course, we remember from the St. Louis series, anytime a helmet comes off, you pretty much assume a roughing call is coming.
Well, they're all roughing calls, aren't they? At 13:46. So 5v5, 6:14 remaining second period. We do it to the left of Ottinger. And Vilardi trying to win the draw to the near side, came back to the line. DeMello's shot, raising in front of that net was Scheifele. Never got a stick on it. Back in behind the net, Vilardi trying to dig it off the wall. Scheifele spins it around, tumbles around, settled down by Morrissey, whipped toward the goal. Vilardi, net front, just missed it. Kept in at the line here by Connor. Far side, trying to backhand pass through that slot area, broken up. And back the other way to the near side. Robertson across the line. Harley shoots, stop, rebound. Diving out is Hellebuyck on Dadonov. What a save on Dadonov. Excellent save for Connor Hellebuyck. He's made a few in the hockey game. Back toward the near side. Scheifele across the line. Tried to skewer it along the boards. Got it there in front of the net. Creeping toward the goal was Sandberg on a pass late there by Vilardi. Sandberg just couldn't get there. Was too far in front of him. Back the other way. Robertson. He'll spin it inside that Winnipeg end. Sandberg back on the collection. Into where the middle of the ice for Vilardi. Casts it far side. Partial 2-on-1. Scheifele down the left wing boards. Back to the line. Pionk moving in, shooting! And it's stopped by Ottinger off the rush. That weak side D coming in. And he'll hang on for a whistle. What a save by Connor Hellebuyck. Hellebuyck on Evgeny Dadonov. 5:05 remaining in this second period. 3-0 Winnipeg. Back after these. You're listening to Play Now. Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become... Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Winnipeg, are you whiteout ready? Choose Hometown Pride. Choose 1919. Brewed by Little Brown Jug, Manitoba's flagship beer since 2016. Here's to building something memorable.
Hi, Blake Legault here from Wilfs Eli Ford. Wilfs has been your independent, locally owned Ford dealership for 44 years. That's 44 years of loyal customers. And thank you for your dedication. We have amazing loyalty offers on Edge and F-150s. But it doesn't stop there. We also have 0% financing on most lines. Do you want to know why customers keep coming back to Wilfs Eli Ford? Come in for a visit. Once you experience our pressure-free buying experience, I'm sure you'll keep coming back too. See wilfseliford.ca for details.
If it sounds too good to be true, well, you know the rest. But I get it. Some deals sound tempting, like this guy.
These prices are insane! The boss has lost his mind!
When it comes to your home's heating system, do you really want to do business with a company that resorts to gimmicks like this? You could call them and see what they're really offering, and then give Mr. Furnace a call. In fact, they encourage you to call around and get quotes first, and then call Mr. Furnace. You'll see why. Give it a try. Call 204-832-6243.
This is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets have been excellent here tonight. Their goaltender might be a notch above that. 3-0 Winnipeg. 5:05 remaining in this second period. We do it to the left of Ottinger. Deep inside the Dallas end, right off the face-off, snap toward the goal by Ehlers, stopped by Ottinger. Back toward the line, it's held. DeMello shoots it into where the corner. Bounced off the back wall, fight forward to the side of the net. Grabbed and scrambling away is Lindell to the near side. Marchment, far side for Duchesne. Kicked it from his skate to his stick. He dispatches it down inside that Winnipeg end. Morrissey bumped there with Sagan. Into where the corner it goes. Moved up along the boards. Find Nemesnikov. Had to fight off a bit of a hook. To the near side it goes. And then dumped back out by DeMello to center ice. Here comes Dallas across the line. Back door, the far side. Ben stopped by Hellebuyck. On a three-way passing play down inside on the Winnipeg end on that regroup just outside the Jets blue line. Jets will get it down and snap it inside that Dallas end. Rantanen on the far side. Rantanen back inside his own zone. Goes right to Ottinger. He'll throw it up along the boards. It hit Appleton off the bench and then out towards center ice. Here's Ben again. Now to the near side for Ceci. Ceci smashed against the boards into where the corner. Ben goes after it. Rims it around to the far side for Harley. He'll hold the line into where the corner again for Steele. Rubs off a check. Sends it into where the corner to the near side. Grabbed by Rantanen. Shot it back in behind the net for Steele. After him, Fleury. Steele rubbed off the check back door for Rantanen. And he hit the side of the net. It found his stick, but it went off the side of the net. Back toward the line. Labushkin shooting. Kicked away by Hellebuyck with his right pad. Snatched there by Lowry. Outlet it for Niederreiter. Gains center ice. And he'll softly send it down inside of that Dallas end. But they'll say that Niederreiter wasn't quite at the red line. Icing against the Jets.
Yeah, they got the tape measure out on this one. I mean, it was a few feet for sure for Niederreiter, but yeah, they'll call the icing. But I think this one's opened up a little bit more than what Winnipeg would want, especially as the team in the lead. So something that I think they'll want to correct. Connor Hellebuyck, though, has been sensational, especially the last 5 or 6 minutes here.
3.5 remaining second period. We do it to the left of Hellebuyck. Lowry will take the draw against Wyatt Johnston. Lowry has scored tonight. Lowry wins it cleanly into where the corner. And Fleury up along the boards and off of Alex Petrovic and inside that Dallas bench. And out of play it goes. 3:26 remaining in the second period. 3-0 Jets.
I mean, probably not how they drew it up in terms of getting the puck knocked into Dallas's bench, but that's pretty much exactly what you would want in terms of a sequence coming out of an icing call with a tired line on the ice. Adam Lowry snaps one back and Winnipeg wins the draw, and they're able to quickly expel it out of their zone, and you get the quick whistle.
Center ice. Ian Bischel will shoot it in. Tumble around into where the corner. Settled down nicely by Sandberg. Reverse to the near side for Pionk. Hard rim around the boards and all the way down. And back first is Petrovic, so they blow it down. Icing against the Jets. We'll do it to the right of Hellebuyck.
Jets lines will go back to normal now as those 4 players for both Dallas and Winnipeg are out of the box now. Barron being one of them taking this face-off.
It's against Barron. Barron wins it cleanly. Sandberg outletted it far side for Brandon Tanev. Out towards center ice. He nudges it down for the red line. And it goes back in behind that Dallas net. Steered around the boards. Bounced off a body, trying to jam it back toward the net was Iafallo. That hit another body in front, outletted near side. Rantanen couldn't gather that up cleanly. Swinging back inside his own zone. Pionk. Break wide pass, broken up there by Dallas. Swinging back inside the Winnipeg end. Granlund into where the slot, broken up by Iafallo. Winnipeg in transition. Here they come on the far side. Tanev for Iafallo, scoots inside the zone, puts on the brakes. Winnipeg in the midst of a line change. Iafallo back toward the line. Shot toward the net by Fleury. Blocked in front. Rantanen, who's been out there for an eon, to the near side now for Hintz. He'll slap it inside the Winnipeg end. Nemestikov will scrape it off the back wall, carving his way into where the corner. Fleury up along the boards on the far side. Hunting through that neutralizes Nikolai Ehlers for Nemestikov. Nemestikov is buried, and then picking up the puck is Perfetti. Tried to go back toward the far side for Ehlers, who wasn't expecting it. Nemestikov was hauled down by 2 Dallas Stars. Back the other way, inside the Winnipeg end. Marchment smashed against the board by Fleury. Bring up the puck to the near side, though. Off the boards is Perfetti with a backhand. And Marchment is slow to get up inside the Winnipeg end and get himself outside to that neutralize. Harley to the near side for Seguin. Couldn't kick it from his skate to his stick. Winnipeg will snatch that, and Fleury out towards center ice. Vilardi protects the puck. Back to the near side. Scheifele for Connor. Connor back out in front, and nobody was home for the Jets. Bit of an awkward looking play, but the Jets almost got it toward the net. Marchment off the boards now for Lindell. He'll push it ahead, hit somebody at his bench. We'll get a stoppage of play. 1:31 remaining in the second period. 3-0 Winnipeg.
Yeah, I think Marchment's just kind of grabbing that left hip. I wonder if, I'm sure if you played hockey, you felt it, where you just kind of go into the boards and make contact right at that dasher board level. It just kind of presses right into your hip. I'm thinking that's what he's feeling. He got up. He was able to skate. It didn't look comfortable. He was the one that got back on that backtrack that kind of broke up that Kyle Connor play. But he's headed to the room.
Winnipeg just won't turn it over at center ice. They fight for it. Nice stick lift by Niederreiter. And he will gently send it down inside that Dallas end. Wristed out towards center ice. Puck will slide back inside the Winnipeg end. Miller to help out. Miller trying to get it up along the boards. It stays in. Donoff onto the far side. Donoff dropped it off. Ceci slings it toward the net. Stopped by Hellebuck. Gathered up again here by Wyatt Johnston. Back toward the line. Shot from the point. Stopped in front. Rebound. Pounded by Ceci back toward the net. That bounced off a skate. And Winnipeg again will expel it back out towards center ice. Backhanded back in. Boy, Dallas has had a push here in the last few minutes. Rotating back in behind his own net. Miller, far side for Morrissey. Up along the wing, Niederreiter. Redirected down inside that Dallas end. Winnipeg will head to the bench for fuel and tires. It's rolled around to the near side. Neil Pionk will hammer his man and run in along that back wall to the near side. It tumbles into where the corner does the puck. Robertson goes after it. Grabbed again here by Rantanen. Back toward the line for Harley. Harley waits, pivots, shoots. And it's off a stick of steel net front. That one wide. Penalty coming up for high sticking against, I believe, Rantanen.
Yeah, it looks like Rantanen. I think he got Dylan Sandberg in front of the net.
20 seconds remaining in the period.
Dallas 96, pound high sticking.
Ooh, they called a high stick, but it had some cross check to it, I'll tell you that much. Kind of gets him right in the throat. Now, of course, Nick Waugh got 5 in a game for that. I wouldn't put this one in the same category, but definitely not a comfortable feeling for Dylan Sandberg.
So Winnipeg will go back onto the power play for Prairie Battery. Your one-stop battery source is Winnipeg-born and Canadian-owned, prairiebattery.ca. Power play number 4. Winnipeg 1 for 3 tonight. 19:40 the time of the high-sticking call to Mikko Rantanen. Jets lead at 3-0. They have a power play goal tonight. Came off the stick of Gabe Vilardi, who's taking the face-off right now. And it's one into where the corner for Dallas. Rotated around to the far side. And Ceci will wrist it all the way down the ice. That might do it for the period. Winnipeg back in behind their own net. 10 seconds to go. Now 8. Morrissey slowly to the near side for Shifley. 5 seconds. They've got to hurry. Drop it center ice. 2 seconds. Vilardi cross the line. Winnipeg's going to be offside as the horn sounds simultaneously to end 40 minutes of hockey tonight in downtown.
Kind of a tale of 2 periods, I thought. You know, the first half of the second period, Winnipeg doing exactly what you would want them to do, building those offensive zone shifts in the Dallas end, churning, working below the goal line, making Dallas defend and come 200 feet to generate a whole lot. And then when Adam Lowry made it 3-0, 11 minutes in, you could feel the push coming from the Dallas Stars. They created a couple of rush opportunities, and Connor Hellebuck was tremendous to keep the score at 3-0. So I'd imagine Winnipeg, if you can jump on this power play early in the third, that would be great. But outside of that, you want to prevent those rush chances against.
Let's have a look at the stat summary through 40 minutes. Gabe Vilardi opened up the scoring for Winnipeg, 3:35 of the first period. On the power play, his first of the playoffs from Ehlers and Morrissey. 4 minutes later, Winnipeg even strength made it 2-0. Nikolai Ehlers banked one off the skate of Esa Lindell for his first of the postseason. Fleury and Shifley pick up the assists at 7:07. Ehlers a goal and an assist in the first period. Winnipeg went to the break with a 2-0 lead. They add on halfway through the second period. 11:02. Lowry, his fourth, came off the back wall, and he had the putback that beat Odger to the top of the net. DeMello and Niederreiter collect the assists. 3-0 Winnipeg, as Mitchell talked about. Right after that, there was a push from Dallas, and Connor Hellebuck had to be sharp in order for Winnipeg to retain a 3-0 lead, which is where they sit at the end of 2. Power play opportunities. Dallas is 0 for 2 with the man advantage. The Jets are 1 for 3. They will have, though, a carryover of 1 minute and 41 seconds on a penalty to Mikko Rantanen for high sticking that will go from the second to start the third for Winnipeg, and a fresh flood for the Jets as well to navigate their 4th man advantage opportunity, the hockey game. Shots on goal, Dallas out shooting Winnipeg in the second period, 9-6. but the Jets hold the two-period total at 19-16 over the Stars. Second intermission report is coming up next with Kelly Moore and John Rempel. The score, as mentioned, after 2. Winnipeg 3, Dallas nothing. You're listening to Play Now. Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Hey everybody, it's Ben Mulrooney. One of the most common things I hear from our listeners is, I didn't know you had opinions like that. Well, that's what I love about doing the show. I get to bust out of my shell and give you the straight goods on all of my thoughts. I'm going to get mad sometimes. You might agree with me other times. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, my goal is to entertain and to inform. Plus, bring you the level of guests you won't get anywhere else. You get all that and so much more on The Ben Mulrooney Show.
Catch The Ben Mulrooney Show weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. on 680 CJOB.
Boston Pizza is Canada's go-to place for playoffs. So this year, we're doing more than just hoping a Canadian team wins it all. We're manifesting it. We're planning the parade. We even got a bus. And we've got the sports bar dialed in, with ice-cold draft beer and an elite playoff menu. Like the guy in the movie said, kind of.
If we plan it, we will win.
So when it's game day, post up early at BP and cheer for the Holy Grail to come home.
Rule the outdoors with Makita Outdoor Power Equipment, available at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools. Right now and only while the Jets are in the playoffs, spend a minimum of $500 on Makita products and receive a free Makita cordless radio worth $200. Plus, get a 4-amp battery at a special discounted price. Makita lawnmowers, line trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws are in stock too.
Shop where the professional tradespeople shop. You're always welcome here at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, 1557 King Edward Street.
This is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
3-0, the Winnipeg Jets leading the Dallas Stars after 40 minutes of play, looking to even this series at a game apiece as we welcome you to the second try that again. As we welcome you to the second intermission report. And Jets fans, nothing is bigger than the Winnipeg Whiteout. You can be here for every unforgettable moment, becoming a season ticket member today. Get access to playoff packages and pre-sales by visiting winnipegjets.com/memberships. And boy, have there been some memorable moments in this playoff year for the Winnipeg Jets. You go back to round 1 against St. Louis, and anybody who was here will never, ever forget Game 7. People who were here in the second period tonight, Coach John Rempel, will remember the goaltending clinic that Connor Hellebuck put on.
Wow. I mean, Kelly, if you didn't like that period from a variety of reasons and from Winnipeg's goaltending, you don't like hockey. And, I mean, that is vintage Connor Hellebuck. 3 saves in 2 minutes. Huge save, left arm, stretching right to left at 540. 426. Another huge save off Jamie Benn. Stretches right to left off the left pad, and then a high to low a low to high from Mikko Rantanen to Ilya Lyubushkin on a one-timer. Like, that is vintage Connor Hellebuck, just saying no way.
Yeah, that first save you talked about with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the period off of Evgeny Dodonov, that might be right up there with that stick save that he made off of Oscar Sundqvist in Game 5.
I mean, just positioning and anticipation and, reactionary, athletic, all the things you want from your goaltender right there.
But, it starts with 2 excellent opening shifts, first by the Scheifele line and then followed up by the Lowry line to begin the period. That, to me, that just set the tempo for that first half of the period till, as Paul and Mitchell were mentioning, the expected push came from Dallas.
Yeah, no question. I mean, but like you said, the leader's leading. I mean, by example and coming out in the second period and establishing some presence. And again, the second period, as you certainly alluded to in the pregame show, has been a problem for the Winnipeg Jets. And, again, but you're not going to play perfect hockey all the time, Kelly. And, I mean, I think that period is an example of what the Winnipeg Jets and Winnipeg Jets fans have been waiting for. When they make a mistake, 37's there and shutting the door.
Yeah, he has been absolutely brilliant tonight. And even you go back to that scramble where he loses his stick. Now, the Wyatt Johnston shot winds up going off the goalpost. But if it's on the net, I think Hellebuck makes the save with the glove.
I think he literally rolled over, and I think his glove actually came back against the post to kind of, if it was there. I think you're exactly right, Kelly.
And so many things to look at from that period. I mean, the Adam Lowry goal was just a well-thought-out play. Again, Mitchell and Paul call a beautiful game, but they also analyze outstanding as well. And Mitchell talked about, instead of going to the bench for the change, because it is the long change, but the puck's in the offensive zone, so Colin Miller decides to hang around, puts the puck in a retrievable area in the Dallas zone, and then the play grows from there.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, Kelly, because you want to put the puck in positions for your line mates to succeed, and you don't want to kill plays, you want to extend plays, and that's exactly what Colin Miller did there. And as well, a great job by the Jets about rim recovery. They did it 3 times in that shift, in both directions, rim recovery, and that's a really hard skill, but it's a skill that at this level, if you can perfect it, again, I've said this many times in the broadcast this year, the game today at the highest levels is 80% of the game is within 3 feet of the wall, and the Jets really perfected that on that play.
And the dislike certainly starting to mount between these two teams. It's been physical. Dallas already up to 24 hits. They only had 27 in game 1. Winnipeg 26. So they'd have to have a pretty industrious third period to get to their 46. But it was more what was going on in front of the nets. And Mikko Rantanen certainly, I thought, got the benefit of the doubt, only being called for a high stick rather than a potential cross-check, maybe double minor for the work that he did just under the chin of Dylan Samberg.
And that's another good sign for Winnipeg Jets fans, because they are under his skin tonight, and that was a deliberate cross-check to the throat. There's no question about it, Kelly. So, again, that is a good sign, because that means they're in his head a little bit, and they're taking him off his game a little bit.
Yeah, he is not comfortable tonight. There is no doubt about that. Some big hits as well. And when Adam Lowry gets deposited into his bench, you know that the one that gave him the hit has to be a big man, and Alex Petrovic is. But I don't know that I've seen that happen to Adam Lowry before, where he goes skate over head into the bench.
Yeah, I mean, a high impact collision between 2 big men going at high speed. So again, Petrovic kind of fell that way, and I think Adam Lowry was at the end of a shift too, so a little bit fatigued and whatever, but boy, that thing, you could hear that thing all the way up here, Kelly.
Yeah, 9 minutes and change each for Hayden Fleury and Colin Miller, but I think they have played exactly the way that Scott Arniel and Dean Shadouth had envisioned they would. And forget about the hit on Mason Marchment, but we will get to that in a minute. But the defensive zone coverage, the man-on-man coverage, Hayden Fleury executed on that play.
Absolutely. I mean, great switch, and again, the great read to kind of follow Marchment behind. Miller kind of pushed off of it, and again, these two, again, we talked about it in the pregame. They've played with each other, they've played with other people, but again, they complement each other in a game like this, where their reads are smart, they're playing efficiently, they're not second-guessing things, they're in support positions, and they've just really got good spacing between the two of them today.
And then after the defensive assignment was finished, then the physical punishment was doled out.
Oh, yeah, and I watched the replay just about 2 minutes ago, and Marchment kind of got opened up by Fleury, and Fleury drove him hard, and I watched Marchment go off.
Yeah.
He stayed on the ice for the shift, but then at 1:30 he actually left the ice, so he's holding his left hip area or oblique or something in there. So, but that's the way, in the Stanley Cup playoffs, you got a chance to finish a guy and drive him through the wall. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, you could tell that he was laboring as he came back to the bench, but that it wasn't necessarily, in the lower leg area, that it seemed to be something else that was bothering him. We talked about face-offs in the first period when Dallas won 17 of 21. Jets did a much better job. At one point, it was 7-2 in the second period for Dallas, 24-6. But the Jets were able to finish that second period 10-10. And the reason I bring this up, John, is because Dallas was able to ice the puck with no punishment. So one of these times the Jets are going to win that draw and maybe create something off the face-off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you can see Mark Scheifele is trying different things. Gabriel Vilardi came in and took a couple, but I could watch Scheifele closely, and he's starting to change the way he's sort of his alignment, what his stick is doing. He's trying different techniques. So I don't know if it's a product of Mark being hurt a little bit and possibly that, but
he was 18-10 2 nights ago.
I know I knew you were going to say that. So I think it's one of those nights, and but again, they're trying different things, and again, Vlad Nemestikov won a couple of key defensive zone draws. Morgan Barron won a really key defensive zone draw on his offside when they iced the puck and the fourth line was out there. Rantanen's line came over. Pete DeBoer sent out, but a great clean win, and Tanev exited on the weak side.
Scheifele 1-9 on the night. Adam Lowry 6-7. We'll see how that develops in the third period. It is 3-0 Winnipeg through 40. Scoreboard update next on the second intermission report on Power 97 at 680 CJOB.
How has Ag Direct hailed free?
When the game really counts, you want to watch it on the big screen with great food and cheering fans. That's why Tavern United and Garbanzo Sports Pubs are Winnipeg's favorite destinations for playoff hockey. Want to experience a game in person? Tavern United and Garbanzo Sports Pubs are giving away tickets to the next home game. Plus, enjoy great food and beverage specials. Tavern United and Garbanzo Sports Pubs. Manitoba owned, Manitoba grown, and Manitoba proud. Canadians thanks you for supporting local. Proudly a part of your community since 1975. Enjoy responsibly.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become... Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Noble, proud, feathered to stay warm. Goes great with watching hockey. Turkey, perfectly Canadian. Buy Canadian turkey and support Canadian farmers like me.
Winnipeg Jets exclusive coverage continues on 680 CJOB and CJKR 97.5 FM Power 97. The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey.
Gabe Vilardi and Nikolai Ehlers in the first period. Adam Lowry in the second have the Winnipeg Jets out in front of Dallas 3-0. Connor Hellebuck has faced 16 shots. I would say at least half of them would have to be regarded as the high danger category. Elsewhere on the scoreboard, Brad Marchand, the overtime hero for the Florida Panthers, who rallied from a pair of 2-goal deficits to edge Toronto 5-4. And so the Leafs lead in that series cut to 2-1. Marchand scoring at 15:27 of the extra period. The Minnesota Frost 5-3 winners in Toronto. That best of 5 Pro Women's Hockey League series now tied at a game apiece. It was the Cleveland Cavaliers over Indiana 126-104. So road teams rather 3-0 in that matchup so far. In Denver, the Nuggets trailing the Oak City Thunder 56-55 early in the third quarter. That series is tied 1-1. Toronto Blue Jays jumped out to a 5-0 lead. They're now leading Seattle 5-3 in the seventh inning. The Winnipeg Goldeyes now 1-1 on the year. As Paul Edmonds used to say, fish win, fish win, fish win, 6-4 in Cleburne. Here it's 3-0. I wonder if we'll hear Paul say, Jets win at the end of the night. We'll have that third period for you next on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Jets fans, playoff hockey is back, and there's nothing bigger than the Winnipeg Whiteout. You can be here for every unforgettable history-making moment by becoming a season ticket member today. Experience the Whiteout inside Canada Life Center, live and in person. Get access to playoff packages and pre-sales for round 2 and beyond by visiting winnipegjets.com/memberships today. That's winnipegjets.com/memberships.
Physiotherapists are licensed healthcare professionals who work in private clinics or who deliver mobile therapy services within your home. They also work in a variety of public sector settings, hospitals, personal care homes, schools, and within community therapy services. They can assess, treat, and manage pain, injuries, movement dysfunction, and a variety of chronic medical conditions. Click Find a Physio on Manitoba Physiotherapy Association's website at mbphysio.org so you can get back to enjoying life and the activities you love.
The power of nature flows through Manitoba. We harness it and turn it into reliable, affordable energy. It's not just energy, it's a promise that connects us all, a promise for the future. Our investment in Manitoba is significant, but the value we generate together is beyond measure. Manitoba Hydro, energy for life.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Winnipeg Jets Hockey Club is expressly prohibited. The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey.
We welcome you back to the broadcast booth, which is for Namath Diamonds. For your diamond engagement ring, see Namath Diamonds, a family tradition of excellence in Southdale Square. Jets in the power play to start this third period. 1:41 remaining in the penalty to Mikko Rantanen. 3-0 for Winnipeg. Paul Edmund Mitchell Clinton with you. We're underway in the third. And Lindell will saucer it inside that Winnipeg end, in and out of the glove of Hellebuck. It falls into the corner. And Winnipeg will play it back in behind the net neatly and settle it down. Josh Morrissey will emerge. Outlet far side for Scheifele. Shifts into the middle of the ice. He'll drop it for Connor. Tapped over far side for Vilardi. Scoops down along the boards. Lost the puck. And Beck will try to get it out. Kept alive here at the line by Morrissey. Far side for Connor. Connor back up top here for Morrissey. Back for Connor. Top of the circle on the far side. Down low for Ehlers. And a drop step. And he tried to chip it to the top of the net for the second time in this hockey game. This time it goes over the net, over the glass, into the meshing, and on a play it goes.
And you also wonder if maybe this isn't setting up something. So the backside penalty killer for the Dallas Stars, what they tend to do as soon as it gets down low, their job is to take away the backdoor play. So they come down and cover Mark Scheifele off the back post on that one. And you wonder if Nikolai Ehlers tries to pull that move a couple more times, if that doesn't cause a little bit of hesitation on the penalty killers, and then maybe that backdoor play opens up.
Scheifele wave. Vilardi comes in, wins it cleanly back toward the line. Morrissey, far side for Connor. Connor darting around. He'll play it down into where the corner for Scheifele. Rotates back in behind the net. Now hands it back off for Morrissey. Back in behind the goal for Ehlers. Ehlers into where the corner. Far side for Connor. At the hash. Up top for Morrissey. Morrissey to the near side hash for Scheifele. Scheifele stick handling. Back up top for Morrissey. Shoot. Stop. Rebound. And it's flushed all the way down by Lindell. And down inside that Winnipeg end. Dallas racing to the bench for some reinforcements. 30 seconds to go on the power play for the Jets.
Yeah, good puck movement once again by Winnipeg. And when Morrissey takes that shot, they have the presence in front, but it just gets by that first layer.
Here they come again. Jets inside the zone. Sent back toward the line. Neil Pionk, right side point, will hold the line. He'll cast it into where the corner. Niederreiter goes after it. Pushed against the boards there by CC. Waiting for some help. In to help out is Iafallo along with Perfetti. Managing to try to move the puck along the boards. There are 3 Dallas Stars there as well, and Nemestikov wants a change. He goes to the bench. Now Sandberg, as the penalties come into an end. Winnipeg gets 2 defensemen out there. Good play. Now Rantanen emerges out of the penalty box. They're still scrumming for the puck over the far side. 1 for 4 with the man advantage are the Jets tonight. They're still scrumming for the puck, and Kishi just returned from shopping out towards center ice. Skates now back, and he will try to move it into where the middle for Sam Steele. He lost the puck and stays inside the zone. Rantanen, wrong guy, poked off the puck nicely by Neil Pionk. And backtracking back inside his own zone to collect it. Niederreiter to the near side. Perfetti snapped inside that Dallas end, and they will sway over to where the bench exit stage right for a line change. Moved up to the near side and Rantanen. Cross ice pass to the far side for Granlund. Granlund scurries down into where the corner, rolled it around to the near side for Rantanen. Taking off the puck. Winnipeg will push it ahead on the far side. Here's Appleton to the near side for Lowry. Trucks inside the zone. Stutters with the puck a little. Rolled it around to the far side. Tanev couldn't gather that up. Out towards center ice. Rope hints. and he will flush it down inside that Winnipeg end, and Dallas will make some changes. To the near side again. Fleury tried to get it out and did. Bounced off the body there of Johnston. Grabbed by Vilardi. Vilardi sways to the far side. Wrists it back in behind the net. Petrovic with it to the near side. Now for Dodonov. Sent out towards center ice. Knocked out of the air by Scheifele back inside the Dallas end. Petrovic forced it up along the boards. Inside that Winnipeg end. Dodonov back out in front. And he tried to pass it off for Wyatt Johnston, who swooped the wrong way to the near side. Morrissey up along the wing now for Connor. Off the boards, but not out. It hit Morrissey. He'll try to bounce it off his body and out towards center ice. He did so successfully. Pushed back inside the Winnipeg end. Now for Miller. Onto the far side. Miller D-to-D for Morrissey. Further line changing going on for Dallas. Morrissey out towards center ice. Will snap it in. We played 3.5 minutes of this third period. 3-0 Winnipeg. Connor will steal the puck on the far side. He's pushed into where the corner. He'll wait for some help from Iafallo along the boards into where the corner. Lindell is there as well. It's then smashed against the boards here and back in behind the net. Picked up by Ceci. Races out towards center ice to the near side for Seguin. Seguin along the boards. Eludes a check. Still has the puck back in behind the net. Put it back toward the line for Lindell. Lindell is pressured. He'll shoot it around to the near side. Pitching in is Ceci. His shot goes off a stick. Stopped by Hellebuck. Back into the high slot. Marchment put it back into the corner. Nobody was home. After it goes Neil Pionk. Two Dallas Stars are in on him. Back out in front for Ceci. Shooting. Stopped by Hellebuck. Put back by Ceci. Put it wide. Rebound grabbed again by Winnipeg. Spun around the boards by Pionk. And exhausted out towards center ice. Oh, Connor Hellebuck has been excellent in this hockey game. Bounced into where the corner again. Back after it go the Dallas Stars. They have the push on for sure. Winnipeg will reverse to the far side. For Tanev off the boards and out towards center ice. Harley swings in front of the Winnipeg Jets center. And Morgan Barron and scoots back inside his own zone and seeks the shelter behind his own net.
Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele were out there for a little bit. Scheifele was able to get off the ice as Dallas was coming up ice. A good backtrack by Kyle Connor nearly prevents the entry, but when Dallas gets in, he gets kind of stuck out there defensively.
Back across the line. Rantanen will stop up. Rantanen into where the slot. That went by everybody. Bounced off the boards and out towards center ice. Labushkin for Harley. Passed it to nobody on the wing. Grabbed there by DeMello into where the middle for Ehlers. Moves over the line. Shoots off the rush. Put it over the net. Bounced into where the corner. After it goes Harley against Ehlers. Harley kicked it from his skate to his stick. He navigates into where the corner on the far side. He will slowly rumble out towards center ice. Gain the red line. Pass it over the far side for Wyatt Johnston. Tried to go inside and out on DeMello. Nothing doing there. Puck goes into where the corner. Grabbed by Winnipeg now. And Morrissey. Nice move up along the boards for Nemesnikov. He's pushed from behind by Liam Bischel into the boards. He's okay. But there's going to be a penalty coming up for cross-checking against Bischel. That's a dangerous play conducted by the Dallas Stars young defenseman.
Dallas penalty number 6, 2 minutes for cross-checking.
Yeah, in this one, it's not even like Nemesnikov turns at the last second. He presents the number pretty early, and, you know, Bischel certainly, you know, could he have launched Nemesnikov even worse into the boards? Probably, I guess, but you just can't. The onus is on you as the person pursuing on the hit to make sure that you don't take a penalty or put that player into an even more dangerous situation. And Bischel just puts the stick right into the lower back of Nemesnikov and sends Nemesnikov launching, and Nemesnikov thankfully able to get his face turned at the last second so he doesn't go nose first into the boards.
Jets are on the Prairie Battery Power Play, your one-stop battery source is Winnipeg-born and Canadian-owned. PrairieBattery.ca. Winnipeg wins the draw. Back toward the line. Morrissey into where the corner now for Vilardi. Jets are on the power play for the 5th time tonight. They're 1 for 4. Nikolai Ehlers to a loose puck. Oscar Becken on him. Came back toward the line. It's sent off the boards. Now race for the puck. Picked up by Sam Steele. 1-on-1. Carves his way in. And coming back to break that up was Mark Scheifele. Excellent backtrack by Scheifele. He now has the puck. He flutters out of his own zone to the near side now for Ehlers. Crossed over the line. Ehlers to the near side for Scheifele. Protects the puck of the hash mark. Left it for Connor. Connor out in front. Ehlers shooting. And it's kicked away by Ottinger. Ehlers to the loose puck on the far side. He'll stay balanced. He'll play to the near side as they try to rumble off the puck. Scheifele back for Ehlers up top. Back into where the corner for Scheifele. Back toward the line for Ehlers. Far side, locked and loaded. Morrissey shoots, and it grazed off the goaltender Ottinger, and then it's poked off the boards on the far side by Glendale, and out towards center ice, and Winnipeg trying to quick up pass. Scheifele will be offside. He takes a hack from Harley and says something to Thomas Harley after that two-hander on the hands. Winnipeg will be offside. Neutralized face-off, 13-19 remaining in this third period, 3-0 Winnipeg. Winnipeg Jets hockey brought to you in part by Reliable Heating and Air Conditioning, Prairie Battery, and Jacuzzi, Manitoba.
Another high-quality chance for Winnipeg, and Nikolai Ehlers right in the slot gets the thing off quickly, and I'm not even sure if Ottinger really reacts. It's just kind of how he is positionally that this one hits him in the glove and ends up going wide.
Nemestikov wins the draw at center ice, kicked it back inside his own zone. Hurling and Beeling back in behind his own net is Pionk. Now out towards center ice. He'll move it ahead. Perfetti across the line. Nemestikov swings into where the corner, jammed it along the boards, rimmed around to the far side. Niederreiter will wait for it. Backhanded into where the corner, intercepted by Harley, and he'll clear the zone with a wrist shot. And out towards center ice it goes. Winnipeg, 30 seconds to go on the power play. It's their fifth. They're 1 for 4 tonight. They move it ahead. Nudged it across the line. Perfetti shoots it into where the corner. Niederreiter goes after it, waiting for Iaffola to come and help out. 3 Jets are there. 3 Stars are there. Scrum for the puck into where the corner. We've seen that a few times in this period already. Flush back toward the line for Neil Pionk. Walks the line. Winds up. Slap shot. Deflected net front by Iaffola. Stopped off the stick there of Ottinger. Back toward the line. Wrist shot there again. Back out in front. And that was more of a pass on that wrist shot from Pionk to Niederreiter. He tried a no-look behind the back pass. Broken up by Dallas and dumped out towards center ice. Penalty is over. And back to full strength of the Dallas Stars. The Jets are 1 for 5 with a man advantage.
That's a nice piece of work in that board battle, just waiting and waiting and waiting until you can get the opportunity to come out and create a chance.
Appleton flying inside the zone, out in front for Lowry, and he fought off a check, and he just put it wide. Getting toward the front of the net against Petrovic, back to the line. Sandberg shoots, that's blocked. Sandberg again, cast it into where the corner, rotated around, falling back deep inside his own zone. Seguin, and he'll flip it with a backhand out towards center ice. Winnipeg, here they come again. They check up. Sandberg will take a hard body check by Petrovic, but he got the puck in deep. There's a scuttled broken stick to the near side here. Swaying by that is Marchment. Send it out towards center ice, and it's gloved ahead to the advantage of the Jets. Will get a stoppage of play. 11:32 remaining in this third period. The score, Winnipeg 3, Dallas nothing. You're listening to Play Now. Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become... Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Grab your jersey. Grab your generic lager. Impressively standard beer for impressively intense moments. Brewed in Winnipeg by Little Brown Jug. Generic, the most domestic choice.
There's nothing quite like the playoffs. And there's no better way to enjoy the games than in the comfort of your own home. Top shelf, baby! JS Furniture wants you to break away with these amazing deals. Save up to 40% off 4 model recliners and select reclining sofas, so you can watch every hit, shot, and celly. JS Furniture, serving you for over 50 years. 1725 Ellis Avenue in Winnipeg, and now open in their new location in Portage la Prairie. Visit furnitureandmore.ca.
What does your dream deck look like? Is it an urban utopia complete with a fireplace, outdoor kitchen, and waterfall? Or a lounge area that echoes the splendor of a cottage retreat? Whatever your dream, Windeck can make it come true.
Hi, I'm Mal Duick. Windeck is an internationally award-winning company for top design decks in North America, and we can transform your outdoor living space into the backyard paradise you've always dreamt about. Contact our dream team today. Windeck. Do it once, do it right.
Hey, this is Josh Morrissey. Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton are bringing it, Winnipeg Jets hockey style, on 680 CJOB.
Jet fans, show us how you celebrate the Winnipeg Jets whiteout presented by Princess Auto for a chance to win tickets to a 2025 playoff game. Show the Jets how you do the whiteout with decorations, costumes, or any other way you cheer on the Jets at winnipegjets.com/whiteoutmania for a chance to win tickets as mentioned or to be featured in team content. 3-0 Winnipeg, 11.5 to go in this third period. Rope Hint slides down inside that Winnipeg end. Put it back toward the line. CC shoots. Deflected off the shin pads of Sandberg. Wrestled into where the corner it goes on the far side. Winnipeg will try to get to that. After it goes Neil Pionk. He's really had a bead here on Rantanen all game and has been a thorn in his side for sure. He's been in his hip pocket for most of the night as well. To the near side. Niederreiter goes after. Winnipeg reverses. Sandberg lost the battle into where the corner now. Granlund back in behind the net. Neil Pionk wins that battle up along the boards for Appleton, for Lowry. Lowry expresses the puck away from the boards. Came out towards center ice. Now for Niederreiter, moves in, shoots off the rush, kicked away by Ottinger. Bounced into where the corner. Niederreiter goes back after it. Played it into where the corner around the boards to the near side. Lowry vacates the premises for a line change. Winnipeg with 10.5 remaining in this third period. Into another scrum along the boards. Back toward the line for Fleury. He'll pinch in to try to hold the line. It's then flushed back out towards center ice. And there to pick it up and curl back inside his own zone is Colin Miller. He'll send it around for Fleury. Fleury had some problems with it. Winnipeg will settle it back down neatly in behind their own net.
It's an alert play defensively by Mark Scheifele. He came on the ice as part of a line change, and he was kind of in that support position during Dallas' swarm in the corner there. But when that puck popped out, Scheifele knew he had to be back to cover.
Labushkin steals the puck at center ice, waits for a mate to get onside, curls inside that Winnipeg end, works his way toward the corner. He's ushered nicely in along the back wall there by Morrissey, and it's rimmed around the boards, and it falls back out towards center ice. Donoff onto the far side. Labushkin lost the puck again to the near side for Kyle Connor. Reached for it, couldn't hold it in. Taken off his stick by Harley. Shoots it back inside that Winnipeg end. 9:35 remaining in this third period. Winnipeg leads at 3-0 on your radio home of the Jets. Power 97 and 680 CJOB. Sent back inside the Winnipeg end. Sandberg lead pass to an empty wing. Falls back inside that Dallas end, and Dallas will settle it back down inside their own zone.
Good work so far defensively by Winnipeg. How about that lengthy shift as puck goes for icing? A lengthy shift by the Lowry line in their own zone. That was just toughness personified. A number of board battles. Neil Pionk working on Mikko Rantanen as he has kind of throughout this game. Niederreiter dealing with a defensive pinch. Adam Lowry winning that battle against Rupe Hintz down low to help Winnipeg get that puck out. It's kind of how it's been for Winnipeg defensively, but it all comes down to winning your one-on-one battles.
Face off to the right of Ottinger. Back in behind the net. Harley goes after it. He's pushed off the puck. Winnipeg will fight for it. Petrovic comes in there to help out. Perfetti pushed against the boards. A few cross checks. Harley in on Ehlers. Now Ehlers has grabbed Harley's stick. Whistle goes. And there's going to be a cross-checking and a roughing call to the principals and all of that. Harley and Ehlers. And Ehlers, look, he's not the biggest guy, but he competes, and he just had enough of the 47 cross-checks in his numbers from Thomas Harley.
Yeah, I mean, only so much you can take. And
Dallas penalty number 55, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Winnipeg 27, 2 minutes for roughing.
So 1, 2, I'm watching the replay counting here. 3, the third one was probably the most aggressive. And after the third one, Ehlers kind of started leaning back into Harley, and that's where the back and forth started.
I was exaggerating slightly with the 47.
I thought you were close.
Just under 9 minutes remaining in this third period. 3-0 Winnipeg. We'll get some 4-on-4 action when we come back. Jets in front by 3. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
You know what goes well with pizza from Santa Lucia Pizza. They've been the leaders in quality since 1971, and now they just keep winning award after award after award. So, sounds like they know a thing or two about making tasty pizza. How about this? When you're getting ready on game day, choose one of Santa Lucia Pizza's many specials or combos and find out why time and time again it's listed as Manitoba's favorite pizza.
Santa Lucia Pizza. It's all about the sauce.
Rule the outdoors with Makita Outdoor Power Equipment, available at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools. Right now and only while the Jets are in the playoffs, spend a minimum of $500 on Makita products and receive a free Makita cordless radio worth $200. Plus, get a 4-amp battery at a special discounted price. Makita lawnmowers, line trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws are in stock too.
Shop where the professional tradespeople shop. You're always welcome here at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, 1557 King Edward Street.
Cambrian Credit Union helps Manitobans plan for every financial milestone, big and small. All this while giving back to the community and Cambrian members. Keep your money right here in Manitoba. From getting your first credit card for concert tickets at the Burt, to buying a home in Southdale or Garden City with expert mortgage advice, to planning for retirement on Lake Winnipeg. Wherever you're going, Cambrian Credit Union can help you get there. Member owned and proudly local. Visit cambrian.mb.ca.
This is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
Just under 9 minutes remaining in this third period. 3-0 for the Winnipeg Jets and 4-on-4. Harley for cross-checking, Ehlers for roughing, and Winnipeg with the puck back inside their own zone. Sandberg striking through that neutral ice. Navigates his way inside the zone. High slot. Curled to the near side. Shoots and bounced off a skate. Collected to the far side by Connor. To the near side for Sandberg. Sandberg looking, will punch it down into the corner. Shifley overskated it. It's nabbed now by Lindell. Rimmed around to the near side for Robertson. Robertson cross-ice pass on the far side for Granlund. Granlund across the line. Looks like it was going to be offside. CC in advance of the puck. No call, though. Winnipeg will come away with the puck. Hit from a skate to a stick. 2-on-1. Center ice, Shifley. Shifley for Connor. And it's broken up by Lindell. Shifley back in behind the net. He'll scrape it along the boards. Pulled off the wall there by Robertson. Waiting for Granlund to catch up. Robertson will snap it in from center ice. That cascades wide. Now up along the boards, trying to shepherd that puck out is DeMello. Got a little bit of help. Now Kyle Connor flying through the neutral ice. Partial break, moved in, backhand! And it's stopped by Onger, and he'll leave that on the side of the net. Under 8 minutes remaining in the third period. 3-0 for the Jets. Back the other way, Wyatt Johnston moves in, shoot. Stopped by Hellebuck, and he'll dustpan that rebound back in and hang on for a whistle. Stay tuned for the game's 3 stars for Shine Dental. Don't miss out on life's appetizing offerings because of ill-fitting dentures. Get set right with shinedental.ca.
Yeah, the backtrack there by Wyatt Johnston prevented Kyle Connor from being able to really get in on this breakaway and go to his forehand. And so he kind of has to try to go high short side on the backhand. Nice save by Ottinger. Speaking of Ottinger, he's now on the Dallas bench. So a little bit of a 5-on-4 action going on here with it being that way for another 43 seconds.
Why not, right? Face off to the left of Hellebuck. Carried back in behind the net on a face-off win by Neil Pion. Into where the corner, he'll try to freeze it up. It's emerged and scraped away, sent back toward the line for Duchesne. Duchesne up top now for Lindell. Power play with this odd number situation favoring Dallas now with the net empty. And Rantanen with the puck back toward the line for Lindell. Slings it toward the net, blocked by Lowry, backhand it all the way down. This will be icing. So we say power play. It's a power play formation, not a official man advantage. 7:05 remaining in this third period. Winnipeg Jets hockey brought to you in part by JS Furniture, Namath Diamonds, and the Manitoba Physiotherapy Association.
And Lowry's either tired or that block kind of smarted a little bit. I think he's more tired than anything as he, I think out of instinct, just kind of swatted that thing, hoping it would get down the ice, but not all the way down for icing. He knew he's not on a penalty kill, but very well aware that it's 5-on-4. Now 4-on-4 again.
Ottinger back in net. And now Harley and Ehlers are going to step out of the penalty box. Will be at 5-on-5. Sandberg to center ice. Had to dodge. Harley stepping out of the penalty box as he flushed that puck inside of that Dallas end. Under 7 minutes remaining in this third period. 3-0 Winnipeg. Duchesne skips inside that Winnipeg end. Thwarted. Came back toward the line. It was chopped off his stick. Harley will hold it. Rotates it around to the far side. Fleury goes after it. Pulled off the wall by Tatum. Played into where the middle. And Winnipeg out towards center ice in Perfetti. Sidestep a check from Harley and dumped it down deep inside that Dallas end. Harley back in behind his own net to pick it up. Harley to the near side. Off the stick there it goes of Duchesne. It finds Robertson. He'll dump it inside the Winnipeg end. Stopped by DeMello. Outlet at far side again for Niederreiter off the bench. Chip and chase down from center ice inside that Dallas end. 6:10 remaining in this third period. Now Steele out of his own zone. Near side, up along the boards for Marchment. His pass picked off there by Colin Miller. Sent off the boards with some authority out towards center ice. Back the other way comes Steele. Beatles into where the corner. Rubbed out hard there by Morrissey. They both go down. Steele came away with the puck, trying to get it back out in front. Bouncing around. Settled down now by Marchman. Shepherded back in behind the net for Steele. Steele back into where the slot for Marchman. Shoot. Block. Rebound. Carted away nicely by Miller. Backhanded off the boards, but not out. It's kept in, and then Miller followed up Labushkin and chopped him off the puck and out towards center ice it goes. Line changing for both teams. Puck will find Morgan Barrett. He'll softly send it down inside of that Dallas end. It's sent back out toward the line, pushed back in. We'll get an offside call against the Jets. 5:20 remaining in this third period. Timeout on the ice for the final time. We'll do the same on your radio. Final five coming up next. 3-0 Winnipeg. Do not go away. Back after these. Make sure you are as well. You're listening to Play Now. Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Hey Jets fans, get ready for the Winnipeg Whiteout with Jets gear and TrueNorthShop.com. Choose from a huge variety of official Winnipeg Jets Whiteout apparel, headwear, novelties, and more. Need a new white hat, t-shirt, pants, or a jersey? We've got you covered.
Moving in, shooting, score!
Shop online at TrueNorthShop.com or by visiting one of our Jets Gear store locations.
When the game really counts, you want to watch it on the big screen with great food and cheering fans. That's why Tavern United and Garbanzo Sports Pubs are Winnipeg's favorite destinations for playoff hockey. Want to experience a game in person? Tavern United and Garbanzo Sports Pubs are giving away tickets to the next home game. Plus, enjoy great food and beverage specials. Tavern United and Garbanzo Sports Pubs. Manitoba owned, Manitoba grown, and Manitoba proud. Can-Ed Inns thanks you for supporting local. Proudly a part of your community since 1975. Enjoy responsibly.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become... Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Winnipeg, are you whiteout ready? Choose Hometown Pride. Choose 1919. Brewed by Little Brown Jug, Manitoba's flagship beer since 2016. Here's to building something memorable.
Bet on Manitoba. Enjoy responsibly. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on 680 CJOB.
3-0 Winnipeg on goals by Vilardi, Ehlers, and Lowry. The shots on goal 24-19 right now for the Winnipeg Jets with 5:20 remaining in the third period. Shots on goal totals are for Dr. J's Men's Sexual Health Clinic. Need to perform better in the bedroom? See the top-rated doctor on Google and rate MD. Visit Dr. J at PuenteFeClinic.com. Lindell at center ice will dump it in. Are they doing the wave here tonight, Mitchell?
I can confirm.
Winnipeg gave the puck away inside their own zone. Ben back in behind the net, twisting and turning. Scraped off a stick there. Shifley came back deep. He's had a good defensive game tonight as well as getting on the sheet offensively. Now Granlund slings it toward the net. Stopped by Hellebuck. Not a great shift for the Winnipeg Jets. Running around, and Dallas continues with some more pressure. Hellebuck makes another excellent save as he has been superlative tonight.
He absolutely has, and DeMello has his helmet knocked off by Marchman here, and he's kind of motioning the official that it's not DeMello that took off his own helmet in that situation, but no penalty coming. And you mentioned Mark Shifley, just another great defensive positioning play there by him as he dropped low right into that crease area, and as Dallas tried to get it back out in front, he was the one that intercepted it. Once again, Dallas empty net.
Ottinger to the bench for the extra tackle. The face-off to the left of Connor Hellebuck deep inside the Winnipeg end. 4:55 remaining third period. 3-0 Winnipeg. Looking to even up this series at a one game apiece and force a game 5 in Winnipeg after the 2 games upcoming in Dallas starting on Sunday. Back toward the line. Harley. Far side Duchesne. Slot shot. Stop. Rebound. Grab by Niederreiter. Tried to get it out. Second time he did. As that shot was blocked in front off the stick of Robertson. And Winnipeg will send it protruding down inside that Dallas end. Roll back up along the boards. Given away. Neil Pionk will slap it back inside the zone. Now for Rantanen. Tried to dump it in. Fan on it. Swings away from a check. Gathers it back up again. Curl back inside his own zone. Rantanen to the near side. Rantanen dumped it inside the Winnipeg end. And he'll be on his side of center. Never clicked with a pass. Icing will be the call against the Stars. And here comes Jake Onger back to staff the net.
And I remember asking Scott Arniel about this after the 5-minute 6-on-5 in Vegas late in the year. How helpful can that be? And he goes, well, it's not too often that you find yourself in a 5 minute of 6-on-5 time, but it's useful video. So Winnipeg looking to add to that useful video here. Granted, it's 5-on-5 at this moment, but you know Oettinger will be going to the bench every opportunity.
Robertson rolled it around to the far side for Rantanen. Dallas wins the draw down to 4 minutes remaining in this third period. And there goes Oettinger out to center ice. Rantanen will shoot it in. Tumbled around to the near side. Pulled down by Ehlers. He took a smash but couldn't get it out. Rolled around to the far side. There is Duchesne. Paddled it back in by the net for Robertson. Out in front for Rope hits. That's blocked. And then slapped all the way down the ice by Ehlers to the empty net. He scores! Second of the night for Nikolai Ehlers. Second of the playoffs. And it's 4-0 Winnipeg.
That'll be the 7th shot on goal for Nikolai Ehlers. He's had so many glorious chances in this game, but the ones that have gone for him are about a 195-foot spin-around slapper toward the empty net and one off of Esa Lindell's skate. And they all count in the postseason. A big game from Nikolai Ehlers, who's been all over the ice. He's got an assist as well. What a nice way to cap it for the Danish forward.
4-0 Winnipeg. They have scored in all 3 periods tonight. 3.5 remaining in this third period. Puck is shuttled back inside that Dallas end. And it's going to go all the way down for icing against the Jets as Oettinger is back in the net.
Well, the thing, too, to keep in mind is, yes, at the time, Winnipeg was up by 3, but it certainly says something that Scott Arniel is going to, that Nemestikov line. And one of the things that he always talks about is the fact that, Winnipeg is, when they have that line on the ice, they don't spend a lot of time in their zone. And Nikolai Ehlers, taking on that defensive responsibility at 6-on-5. And, I'm sure he knows where the net is. He's just kind of smacking it towards the net. But part 1 was just getting that puck out.
Wyatt Johnston spins, threw it in toward the corner. Oscar back after it. So is Steele. Steele back in behind his own net. Rolled it around to the near side. 3:10 remaining in this third period. 4-0 Winnipeg. Ehlers' goal is unassisted at 16:20. Time of the goal for JS Furniture. Visit us online at furnitureandmore.ca. Winnipeg up along the boards and out towards center ice it goes. Race for the puck. Morgan Barron charging hard toward that puck. And too many Dallas Stars were there. Bishop with it to the near side again for Oscar Beck. He'll dump it down inside that Winnipeg end. 2:40 remaining in this third period. Sandberg up along the boards on the far side. Carried out towards center ice by Connor. Connor to the near side by a scuttled stick. Grabbed again here by Neil Pionk. He'll shoot it inside that Dallas end. Scraped off the boards. Connor goes after it. Now for Vilardi. Into where the corner for Scheifele. Scheifele cutback move. Scheifele back toward the line. For Neil Pionk shoots. Stopped by Oettinger. Rebounded toward the corner. Vilardi goes after that. Niederreiter is there. Trying to get by a check. It bounced off a skate. Settled down by Vilardi. And Vilardi had too many Stars in on him again. And it's forced out towards center ice. 2 minutes remaining in this hockey game. Sent right back inside of that Dallas end. Plungered right back out. Miller shot it right back in. Stopped by Oettinger. Back in behind his own net.
Winnipeg's happy to just play this, intercept the puck in the neutral zone, dump it right back in for the next minute and 45 seconds for sure.
Dodonov speeds out of that neutral ice onto the far side. Passed it off, and a pass by Marchment skipped off a skate. Goes all the way back down inside that Dallas end. Well, to your point, when you were talking about that Nemestikov line on team philosophy not that long ago, Arniel said, we roll well when everybody is part of it. And certainly everybody has been a part of it tonight. Fans are on their feet. Winnipeg will try to get the puck out. There's going to be a stoppage. And they'll separate everyone. There's going to be a penalty coming up to Colin Miller.
Yeah, it'll be a cross-check.
Winnipeg penalty number 6. 2 minutes for cross-checking.
And as much as you don't like to take a penalty late in a game like this one, it's probably the call that the officials probably had to make just to make sure that things don't get too squirrely with the score sitting the way that it is. So Miller got the initial shot in on Oscar Beck and then gave him one more just above the pants.
So Dallas onto the power play for the third time tonight. They are 0 for 2. 1:19 remaining in this third period. Face off to the right of Hellebuyck. Dallas wins the draw. 5-on-4 for them. Up top, Harley slings it toward the net. That one wide. Bounce around into the corner. Iafolo takes a slash there from Rantanen. Iafolo stays on the puck. In his skates. Kick back toward the line. Harley. D-to-D in the far side now for Duchesne. Ducks around a check there of Iafolo. Works his way toward the corner. Put it back in behind the net. For Wyatt Johnston, near side. Rantanen. Rantanen back door for Johnston. Couldn't get a stick on it. DeMello's there. It goes off a skate. Bounce to the near side. High slot. Winnipeg can't flush it out. Kept in by Duchesne on the far side. Back toward the line. 45 seconds to go. Near side for Rantanen. Rantanen sways to the hash marks. Rantanen will play it back down low. Back out in front. Got it back again for Wyatt Johnston. Johnston looking for a pass. Couldn't get to it. Sent back toward the line by Winnipeg. Held. Back door on the far side. Back out in front. Rope hits a shot. Stopped by Hellebuyck. Point blank. And Winnipeg will dump it the distance. 20 seconds to go in the third period. Everybody is on their feet. Back out towards center ice. Rantanen. 10 seconds to go. Chanting. Cheering. Towel waving. Back inside the Winnipeg end. Broken up. Sent all the way down. And that'll do it tonight. The horn will sound. And the Winnipeg Jets have shut out the Dallas Stars 4-0. Even this series at 1 game apiece. It'll be coming back from Texas for Game 5 for sure. And Connor Hellebuyck records his 4th career playoff shutout. And Winnipeg was simply the better team tonight.
And that save at the end is the exclamation mark on a tremendous night from Connor Hellebuyck. Yes, the players in front of him were very good to build that 4-0 lead. But along the way, Connor Hellebuyck made some absolutely spectacular saves when the team needed it. And like we said at the beginning, you're going to need a top-to-bottom effort to come out with a Game 2 victory tonight, and the Winnipeg Jets delivered exactly that.
Vilardi, Ehlers, Lowry, and Ehlers again with the goals tonight. And the Winnipeg Jets certainly rebound from a tough loss in the opener of this series on Wednesday with a complete collective effort tonight and a 4-0 shutout victory over Dallas this evening. Series is tied at 1, heading to the heart of Texas for a couple of games. Game 3 Sunday and Game 4 on Tuesday. The final score once again, the Winnipeg Jets 4, the Dallas Stars 0. The series is tied at 1 game apiece. Totals in the postgame show are coming up next. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97 and 680. CJOB.
You are listening to Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
Boston Pizza is Canada's go-to place for playoffs. So this year, we're doing more than just hoping a Canadian team wins it all. We're manifesting it. We're planning the parade. We even got a bus. And we've got the sports bar dialed in with ice-cold draft beer and an elite playoff menu. Like the guy in the movie said, kind of.
If we plan it, we will win.
So when it's game day, post up early at BP and cheer for the Holy Grail to come home.
Hey everyone, Adney and Burke here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers and the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you getting the most out of your backyard deck? Is it a safe sanctuary for you and your family? or a muddled mess of spindles and splinters?
Hi, I'm Mel Duick, president of Windeck. Your deck's an extension of your home, so make it beautiful, functional, and make it safe. With Windeck's award-winning design team and low-maintenance products, we will give your backyard that wow factor while increasing your home's value. Windeck. Do it once. Do it right.
The game might be over, but the coverage continues on the official Winnipeg Jets postgame show on 680 CJOB.
Without a doubt, from start to finish, the best game the Winnipeg Jets have played in this postseason thus far. They did not let up for one moment, and their all-star netminder was simply superb. And when you have that combination, the Winnipeg Jets are a almost impossible team to beat. And tonight, they were certainly that. For the Dallas Stars. 4-0 is your final. While we await the arrival of Neil Pionk to join us on our post game, let's recap what happened in this hockey game. Didn't take the Jets long to get going. A double minor to Cody Ceci for high sticking Josh Morris, or check that, it was Tyler Seguin. We thought it was Ceci, Tyler Seguin. And on the ensuing double power play, the back half of it, Winnipeg was able to convert. Gabe Vilardi grabbing a Nikolai Ehlers shot off the goalpost and stuffing it past Jake Ottinger. Josh Morrissey also figured in the play, and it was 1-0 Winnipeg. 3.5 minutes later, Nikolai Ehlers scored himself this time from the left side of the Dallas net, trying to play it out front, went off the skate of Esa Lindell. The first goal of this postseason for Nikolai Ehlers, the 5th of his career from Fleury and Scheifele. And the Jets have themselves a 2-0 lead after 20 minutes. Adam Lowry made it 3-0 midway through the second period as he took a hard carom off the end boards on a shot by Dylan DeMello and went roof daddy on Jake Ottinger for his 4th of the playoffs. Nino Niederreiter also went on the scoring play. 3-0 Winnipeg. Big push by Dallas after that. And 3 or 4 5-star saves from Connor Hellebuck to keep it 3-0. Jets took that lead into the third. Nikolai Ehlers, I don't know if he had the sweepers on it or not, but about a 198-foot takeout shot to go right into the heart of the net. And Ehlers is second of the night. And Dylan DeMello, the lone assist, and that makes it a 4-0 final. Each team had 6 shots in the second period. Winnipeg outshot Dallas 13-6 in the first, 10-6 Dallas in the middle frame, 6-6 in the third period. It wound up 25-22 for the Winnipeg Jets. Power play-wise, Dallas held to 0 for 3. That is now, by my count, 17 of the last 18 the Winnipeg Jets have been able to kill off since the third period of that April 24th loss in St. Louis. Winnipeg went 1 for 5 on the Prairie Battery power play. Your one-stop battery source, Winnipeg born and Canadian owned, prairiebattery.ca. 4-0. Winnipeg wins it. The scoring summary for Green Drop, Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Visit greendrop.com. The 3 stars, was there any doubt who the first star was going to be? Connor Hellebuck. He was absolutely superb tonight. And if he can maintain that mojo going down into Dallas, this will certainly be a hard-fought couple of games coming up, because he prevented the Stars from getting any traction at all. The second star with a pair of goals and an assist, Nikolai Ehlers. The third star, Adam Lowry. You could have gone up and down the lineup, though. There were some great performances by this Winnipeg Hockey Club. But we can only pick 3 of them for Shine Dental. Don't miss out on life's appetizing offerings because of ill-fitting dentures. Get set right with shinedental.ca. Let's go over to the Namath Diamonds broadcast booth. Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton standing by as we await the arrival of Neil Pionk. And Paul, I cannot think of a box that the Winnipeg Jets did not check off tonight with this performance.
Yeah, good point. They took care of Rantanen. They got a power play goal.
They were excellent on the penalty kill. They played with more pace. They had a great start. They were much better with the puck between the blue lines. I mean, we'll go on and on and on. Not quite sure who we have downstairs.
Neil Pionk.
Neil Pionk. There he is downstairs. So let's ask him a similar type question to get it started. You wanted to clean up a number of things from Wednesday night to this one. We just ran through a few on our checklist. How clean was this game, in your opinion, for your team tonight, Neil?
Welcome to Toronto Sports Insider. I am Mike Guillaume, starting up this new channel here on YouTube, Toronto Sports Insider. Thanks for joining me tonight on this game. Nick Nurse is all over the referee, just waiting to get tossed. He's just trying to get tossed. Back to bring you the Senators and the Maple Leafs, the third game, the rubber match. The Blue Jays are back. Shot, and he scores! Shorthanded goal for the Leafs. I love it. I love it. Oh, passed out in front, yes! Boom! Nylander with the goal out front. That's what I'm talking about right there. Glad to have you hanging out for TFC and Lyon, leg 2. All right, guys, we got a bunch of people hanging out in the chat. Say hi. To get a piece of it, fair ball down the right field line. That's going to score one.
Marner with a shot. Blocked, rebound in front. Jammed it, scores! Touchdown! Valdez-Scantling.
Who's going to win tonight? The Leafs! Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Pitches to George Springer, who jacks the ball to left field. Way back and gone. A long lead pass for Matthews. Matthews is in alone. Scores! Holy Mackinac! Are now 3 wins shy of the ultimate goal.
Hi, Vancouver. Hi.
Thank you all so much. 25,000 subscribers. Thank you to each and every one of you who has made a difference in this campaign so far. This community is amazing. The work that we're doing with SickKids is amazing. Any little bit that you could do to help will show that this community can do big things together. We are just about to pass 44,000. Thank you so much. Cheers, insiders. Thank you all for helping us hit 50,000 subscribers. We donate a percentage of our revenue every single month to SickKids Hospital.
Now to Nylander, closing, score!
And Toronto snaps the 11-game losing streak.
Lots of time. All day. Way too much time. Fires end zone. Touchdown.
Here's Matthews with a step to the forehand. Score!
Marner scores! Mitch Marner!
Connor McDavid scores! Connor McDavid for Canada!
Florida Gators are the national champions, and we just passed 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Let's go! Here is the cake right here. Boom, yeah, show, there it is, 100K. We love you, TSI Mike /Dad. And what a ride it's been, because holy Mackinac, what a group of people we have here on TSI.
Right? You cannot say Wisconsin, because he would say, or a Badger, outside of northern Minnesota,
yes,
because he would insinuate you were talking about somebody in Madison being a Badger, he being a Bulldog.
That's what I was.
Right?
That's where I thought you were going, was Bulldog.
Well, I had to stay away from that. We could call him a Bulldog, but he had a snarl tonight, Kelly.
Oh yeah,
you were bang on. He was in the hip pocket of Mikko Rantanen. He was bothersome. And look, they're going to try to change that up, because if you're Dallas, you want to get away from that. If you're Winnipeg, stick with it, man. Stick with it, brother.
If Dallas gives you that matchup, which I don't think they will, but then that's where, whether it's Dylan DeMello and Josh Morrissey, and I really love the battle in Josh tonight, or it's Miller and Fleury. All three of those defense pairs are going to be exposed to Mikko Rantanen. But, just in the last couple of games, Mitchell, we on Sunday night, we saw I'm going to say the West Kettle Dog Show blue ribbon version of Neil Pionk. First in show, because the man has talent. But tonight, I'll tell you what, it was like he was guarding the gate of all those broken down automobiles out on Plessy Road.
Yeah, and players take those challenges personally, right? And I would imagine it's going to be the same for Mikko Rantanen coming in game 3. But when a player like Rantanen comes out, no matter how good or how much respect you have for him, comes out and puts 3 against you, well, you want to have a response as a member of the Winnipeg Jets, right? And I'm sure when Neil Pionk saw that he was maybe going to get that matchup a little bit more often, then he's like, you know what? He's not winning this matchup tonight. And yes, it takes all 5 players on the ice. It's not necessarily, one or the other that makes sure that Mikko Rantanen doesn't score or doesn't get those chances or whatever it may be. But, I think it was just one of those things that every member of the Winnipeg Jets took it upon themselves, because I would imagine for the last day and a bit, what name have they heard more often than anything else? Mikko Rantanen. And they know that over the course of this year, they've given up a goal and an assist to him in the regular season in 7 meetings. Yes, he had 1 big game, but it doesn't mean he has to have 2. And I thought Winnipeg really responded.
Boy, there was a commitment tonight, gentlemen, to all of that.
Yeah.
And when you have Mark Scheifele coming back and breaking up plays, coming all the way from 200 feet down inside his own zone, you get goals from Vilardi and Ehlers, the way that the defense played, and then the stellar goaltending that you received. I mean, the package is right there for Winnipeg, and that's the blueprint for them that they try to draw up every night. We've seen a lot over the course of the regular season. But again, Kelly, you were very succinct. That was their best game all the way around of these postseason games that we've seen, and this was game number 9 tonight.
All right, gentlemen, you have a good and uneventful trip down to Dallas, Texas. Sunday afternoon, Paul and Mitchell will be on the air starting at 3:30. Our pregame show will begin at 1, just while we await the arrival of Dallas Stars head coach Pete DeBoer, who, after this loss, he won't be spitting nails, John Rempel, and he certainly won't be peeling the paint off the walls, because he knows, just as Neil Pionk said, you move on to the next game. But certainly he saw the version of the Winnipeg Jets that won the President's Trophy tonight, and now it's series on, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I don't think he would have been surprised what Winnipeg brought today. And honestly, if I'm going back and evaluating the game, particularly kind of as it rolled through the second, I mean, there's some things from Dallas that you're going to like, and you're going to like some of the rush chances. You're going to like some ability to turn some pucks over, and which they're very good at, because they're very good through the neutral zone. So there's things that he's going to like. There's things that he's going to want to clean up. But yeah, they got close to the best version of this Winnipeg Jets team today.
Yeah, and you could tell that Rantanen was starting to get frustrated. The cross-check to Dylan Samberg, certainly there was even the one play where he flashed on the puck from center ice. It didn't quite get over the red line and wound up having an icing call. Now, the way Dallas was controlling the faceoff,